origins of existence, and the future of our species. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we live in, it is a place we are called to explore, to understand, and to cherish. As we press further into the mysteries of the cosmos, we begin to realize that our journey through the universe is as much about discovery as it is about reflection. The stars, the galaxies, the black holes, and the planets we study are not just distant objects, they are mirrors, reflecting back to us the deepest questions we have about our existence. What does it mean to be a part of this universe? How does our presence here fit into the grand cosmic narrative? At the heart of this reflection is the idea of time. Time, as we understand it on Earth, flows in a linear fashion, from the past to the present to the future. We measure it in hours, days, years, and lifetimes. But the universe, in its vastness, experiences time on a scale that stretches far beyond human comprehension. The birth of a star, the life cycle of a galaxy, the expansion of space itself, these processes unfold over billions of years, far longer than the entire span of human civilization. And yet, for all the immensity of cosmic time, our brief moment in it has meaning. This concept of cosmic time brings us to one of the most fascinating aspects of the universe, the life cycle of stars. Stars are the engines of the cosmos, forging the elements that make up everything we see, including ourselves. They are born in vast clouds of gas and dust, where gravity pulls material together until nuclear fusion ignites in their cores. For millions, or even billions of years, these stars burn brightly, fusing hydrogen into helium, releasing energy, and illuminating the cosmos. But stars, like all things in the universe, are not eternal. Eventually, they run out of fuel, and when that happens, their fates are determined by their size. Smaller stars, like our Sun, will swell into red giants, shedding their outer layers before collapsing into a white dwarf, a dense, slowly cooling remnant. Larger stars, however, end their lives in far more dramatic fashion. They explode in supernovae, massive stellar explosions that release more energy in a few seconds than our Sun will emit in its entire lifetime. These supernovae are not just cosmic fireworks, they are the crucibles of creation. In the intense heat and pressure of these explosions, elements heavier than iron are forged: gold, silver, uranium, all of the precious metals that we find on Earth and beyond. When the explosion subsides, the remnants of the star are scattered across space, where they eventually mix with clouds of gas and dust, seeding the next generation of stars and planets. This cycle of birth, death, and rebirth is what drives the evolution of the cosmos. And we are, quite literally, a part of that cycle. The elements that make up our bodies, carbon, oxygen, iron, were forged in the hearts of stars that lived and died billions of years ago. We are the children of the stars, formed from the ashes of ancient supernovae, shaped by the same forces that govern the universe. This realization brings with it a profound sense of connection. We are not separate from the cosmos, we are intimately linked to it, both in our origins and in our destiny. As we look to the future, we must ask, what is the fate of the universe itself? Will it continue expanding forever, growing colder and darker as the stars burn out and galaxies drift apart? Or will it one day reverse course, collapsing back in on itself in a big crunch? Modern cosmology suggests that the universe's expansion is accelerating, driven by the mysterious force known as dark energy. If this continues, the universe may face a big freeze, in which all energy is spread so thin that no new stars can form, and the cosmos becomes a cold, dark, and lifeless void. But there is also the possibility of renewal. Some theories suggest that the universe could undergo cycles of expansion and contraction, with each new Big Bang giving rise to a new universe, perhaps with different physical laws and conditions. This idea, known as the cyclic model, challenges our conventional understanding of time, suggesting that the universe has no true beginning or end, but instead exists in an eternal loop of creation and destruction. These are questions that take us to the very limits of human understanding. They remind us of how small we are in the face of the cosmos, but they also remind us of how remarkable it is that we can ask such questions at all. We are beings capable of contemplating the universe on a grand scale, capable of imagining its beginnings and its end, capable of pondering the nature of time, space, and existence itself. And this capacity for reflection is perhaps the most extraordinary thing about us. The universe may be vast, and its timescales may dwarf our own, but in our minds, we are able to bridge those distances. Through science, we have built a framework of understanding that allows us to grasp phenomena far beyond our everyday experience: black holes, supernovae, dark matter, and the expansion of space. But science alone does not capture the full depth of our relationship with the cosmos. There is also a sense of wonder, of awe, and of reverence. This sense of wonder is what drives us to explore, to question, and to seek understanding. It is what led Galileo to turn his telescope to the heavens and what drives modern astronomers to build ever more powerful observatories. It is what fuels the dreams of sending humans to other planets, of building spacecraft that can travel to distant stars, of one day finding evidence of life beyond Earth. But as we look outward, we must also remember to look inward. The universe has given us the gift of consciousness, the ability to reflect on our own existence, to ponder our place in the grand cosmic story. And with that gift comes responsibility. We are stewards of a small, fragile planet, one that has nurtured life in a universe where life, as far as we know, is exceedingly rare. The exploration of the cosmos is not just about finding new worlds, it is about learning how to care for the one we have. In this way, the universe teaches us humility. It shows us that we are but one part of a much larger whole, a single species on a single planet in a vast and ancient cosmos. But it also teaches us hope, for in the face of the unknown, we have the power to seek understanding, to make choices, and to shape our future. As we move forward into the 21st century and beyond, we stand on the threshold of new discoveries, new challenges, and new opportunities. The universe, in all its complexity and beauty, beckons us to continue our journey of exploration. It invites us to push the boundaries of knowledge, to embrace the mysteries that lie ahead, and to carry forward the legacy of those who came before us, people like Galileo, who dared to look beyond the familiar and discover something new. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we live in, it is a part of who we are. And as long as we continue to explore, to question, and to wonder, we will remain connected to that grand cosmic story, a story that began with the birth of the stars and continues with us, here and now, reaching for the light of distant galaxies and the secrets they hold. As we delve further into the cosmic reflection, we find ourselves confronted with the most profound of all questions, the question of life itself. What does it mean to be alive in a universe that appears indifferent to our existence? In a cosmos so vast, where stars are born and die in endless cycles, where galaxies drift through space like islands in a dark sea, how is it that life arose on a small, rocky planet orbiting an ordinary star? And more tantalizingly, is life something that exists only here, or is it a common phenomenon, scattered like seeds across the stars? The search for life beyond Earth is not just about answering these questions, it is about understanding our own place in the universe. We know that life, in all its forms, is the product of natural processes. The elements that make up our bodies, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, are abundant in the cosmos. They were forged in the hearts of stars and spread throughout the universe by supernovae, carried on the winds of interstellar space to form new stars and planets. Life, it seems, is made of the same stuff as the universe itself. But how did these elements come together to form something as complex and as wondrous as life? Here, on Earth, life began more than 3.5 billion years ago, in the oceans of a young planet. Simple, single-celled organisms emerged from the primordial soup, fueled by the energy of the sun and the chemistry of the Earth. Over eons, these organisms evolved, becoming more complex, more diverse, and more capable of adapting to the changing conditions of their environment. Life spread across the planet, filling every niche, from the depths of the oceans to the heights of the atmosphere. Yet, for all we know about the origins of life on Earth, the question remains, could life exist elsewhere in the universe? We have discovered thousands of exoplanets, planets that orbit stars beyond our solar system, many of which reside in the habitable zone, where conditions might be right for liquid water to exist. Some of these planets are rocky, like Earth, and some may even have atmospheres capable of supporting life. But so far, we have found no definitive evidence of life beyond our own world. The search for extraterrestrial life is one of the great scientific quests of our time. It drives missions to Mars, where robotic explorers are scouring the surface for signs of past life, perhaps hidden beneath the red planet's dusty surface. It inspires the study of icy moons like Europa and Enceladus, which harbor vast oceans beneath their frozen crusts, oceans that may hold the potential for life in their dark, hidden depths. And it fuels our exploration of distant exoplanets, as we search for the chemical signatures of life in their atmospheres. If we were to find even the faintest hint of life beyond Earth, whether it be microbial life on Mars, or biosignatures in the atmosphere of a distant planet, it would forever change our understanding of the universe. It would confirm that life is not a singular anomaly, but a fundamental part of the cosmos, a natural outcome of the same processes that create stars and galaxies. But even if we never find life beyond Earth, the search itself has profound implications. It forces us to reflect on the uniqueness of our planet, on the delicate balance of conditions that make life possible, and on the responsibility we have to protect and preserve this fragile world. Earth, as far as we know, is the only place in the universe where life exists, and that makes it immeasurably precious. This realization brings us back to a central theme of our cosmic journey: perspective. The universe, with all its wonders and mysteries, offers us a vantage point from which to see ourselves more clearly. When we look out into the cosmos, when we study the light of distant galaxies or trace the paths of exoplanets, we are reminded of the sheer improbability of our existence. We are reminded that life, as we know it, is the result of billions of years of cosmic evolution, a process that began with the birth of stars and the formation of planets, and culminated in the emergence of beings capable of contemplating the universe itself. And yet, for all the grandeur of this perspective, we must also remember that our place in the universe is not guaranteed. The same forces that shape the Earth also threaten it. Asteroid impacts, solar flares, and even the long-term cooling of the sun are natural events that could one day render our planet uninhabitable. Climate change, driven by human activity, is a more immediate and pressing concern, reminding us that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the entire biosphere. In this context, the search for life beyond Earth takes on a new significance. It is not just a scientific endeavor, it is also a reflection of our desire to understand the fragility of life and to seek out other places where it might exist. It is a reminder that we are part of a larger cosmic story, one that is still unfolding. This cosmic story brings us to another fundamental question: what is the future of life in the universe? Will humanity continue to explore the stars, perhaps one day settling on other planets and moons? Will we develop the technologies needed to travel beyond our solar system, to visit distant worlds, and perhaps even to communicate with intelligent civilizations beyond our own? The possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence is one of the most tantalizing ideas in all of science. If life is common in the universe, then it seems reasonable to assume that, somewhere out there, intelligent life may have arisen. And yet, despite decades of searching, we have found no evidence of such civilizations. This is the famous Fermi paradox: if the universe is so vast and so old, why have we not yet encountered signs of intelligent life? There are many possible explanations for this paradox. Perhaps intelligent civilizations are rare, and we are one of the first to emerge. Or perhaps such civilizations are common, but they are too far away for us to detect. Some have even suggested that advanced civilizations may intentionally avoid contact with us, or that they exist in forms that we cannot recognize or understand. Whatever the answer, the question of extraterrestrial intelligence forces us to reflect on the nature of intelligence itself. What does it mean to be a conscious being in a universe that is, for the most part, silent and indifferent? How do we, as intelligent creatures, relate to the cosmos? And what responsibilities come with the gift of consciousness? These are questions that go beyond science, they touch on philosophy, ethics, and even spirituality. For in contemplating the possibility of other intelligent beings, we are also contemplating our own humanity. We are asking what it means to be part of a universe that is so vast, so ancient, and so full of mystery. As we continue to explore the cosmos, these questions will become ever more pressing. The more we learn about the universe, the more we are forced to confront the limits of our understanding, and the more we are reminded of the importance of humility, curiosity, and wonder. For in the end, the universe is not just a collection of stars and planets, black holes and galaxies. It is a place of deep mystery, a place that challenges us to think in new ways, to ask new questions, and to imagine possibilities that go beyond our current knowledge. It is a place that invites us to explore, not just with our instruments and our technologies, but with our minds and our hearts. This is the true gift of the cosmos. It calls us to expand our vision, to stretch our imagination, and to seek meaning in the vastness of space and time. And as we continue on this journey, we carry with us the legacy of those who came before us, people like Galileo, who dared to look beyond the familiar, and in doing so, opened up new worlds of understanding. The universe is vast. Our place in it is small. But within that smallness lies the potential for greatness, the potential to explore, to discover, and to create meaning in a cosmos that is both beautiful and mysterious. And as long as we continue to look up at the stars with wonder, as long as we continue to ask questions and seek answers, we will remain part of that grand cosmic story, a story that began with the birth of the stars and continues with us, here and now, reaching out into the unknown. The night sky has always been a source of wonder. For as long as humans have existed, we have looked up at the stars with a mix of curiosity and awe, seeking to understand our place in the grand scheme of things. Galileo, in his time, dared to challenge the established beliefs of his era, revealing that the heavens were not a fixed, unchanging realm of perfection, but a dynamic and evolving cosmos. He gazed at the moon and saw mountains and valleys, just like those on Earth. He observed the moons of Jupiter, orbiting a planet far from our own, and realized that the universe was far more intricate than previously imagined. In doing so, he ignited a revolution in human thought, one that continues to this day. Centuries later, Carl Sagan would stand on Galileo's intellectual shoulders, looking even farther into the cosmos. With the aid of modern technology, we now peer beyond our own solar system, beyond the reach of human eyes, to distant galaxies and star systems light years away. But as our telescopes grow ever more powerful, revealing more of the universe's vastness, we are confronted with an essential truth: our curiosity, the desire to explore, to question, and to understand, is as boundless as the universe itself. And yet, there is something profoundly humbling in this endeavor. When we look up at the sky, we are not merely staring at distant stars, but into the depths of time itself. The light from those stars has traveled across the expanse of space for millions, even billions, of years before reaching our eyes. We are witnessing the universe as it was long ago, an ancient past, frozen in the light of distant suns. Each point of light tells a story of creation, of immense forces shaping and reshaping the fabric of space and time, and of the ongoing evolution of the cosmos. The universe, as Galileo saw through his telescope, was not what we once believed it to be. And even today, we are continually reminded of how little we truly know. For every discovery we make, there are new questions that arise, new mysteries that beckon us to look deeper, to search for answers that are just beyond our grasp. This is the beauty of science. It is an ever-evolving journey, one that never reaches a final destination, but continuously expands the horizon of our knowledge. In Galileo's time, it was the discovery that the Earth was not the center of the universe, but merely one planet among many, orbiting a star like countless others. Today, we know that our Sun is one of hundreds of billions of stars in the Milky Way galaxy, which is itself just one of trillions of galaxies spread across the cosmos. The scale of this is difficult to fathom. We are small, infinitesimally small, when compared to the grand sweep of the universe. But in that smallness, we find a profound connection to the stars. We are made of the same elements that make up the stars: carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and iron, created in the nuclear furnaces of ancient suns that exploded in supernovae, scattering their enriched materials across space, forming new generations of stars and planets. We are, as Carl Sagan famously said, star stuff contemplating the stars. But what does this mean for us? Why does it matter that we are composed of elements forged in the hearts of stars, or that the universe is so vast and ancient? Galileo would tell us that it matters because it challenges our understanding of our place in the cosmos. It forces us to look beyond ourselves, to realize that we are part of something much larger, much more ancient, and much more profound than we ever imagined. This realization, though humbling, also brings with it a sense of empowerment. For while we may be small, we are also capable of great things. We are capable of unraveling the mysteries of the universe, of understanding the forces that shape the stars and galaxies, and even of contemplating our origins. The same curiosity that drove Galileo to point his telescope at the night sky drives us today to send spacecraft to distant planets, to search for signs of life beyond Earth, and to peer into the depths of the cosmos in search of answers to the most fundamental questions: where did we come from? What is our place in the universe? And are we alone? These questions have captivated humanity for as long as we have been able to look up at the sky. And now, for the first time in history, we have the tools to begin answering them. We have discovered planets orbiting distant stars, some of which may harbor conditions suitable for life. We have sent probes to the outer reaches of our solar system, and we have peered back in time to the very beginning of the universe, to the moment when everything we know came into being. But the more we discover, the more we are reminded of how much remains unknown. Dark matter and dark energy, which make up the vast majority of the universe, remain some of the greatest mysteries of modern science. We cannot see them, yet we know they are there, shaping the structure and evolution of the cosmos in ways we are only beginning to understand. Black holes, those enigmatic objects where the fabric of space and time collapse, challenge our understanding of physics, revealing the limitations of our knowledge while offering tantalizing clues about the nature of reality itself. And then there is the question of life. Is life something unique to Earth, or is it a common phenomenon, scattered across the stars? If we were to find even the smallest trace of life beyond our planet, whether it be microbial life on Mars, or the faintest hint of an oxygen-rich atmosphere on a distant exoplanet, it would fundamentally change our understanding of the universe. It would confirm that life is not an anomaly, but a natural consequence of the processes that shape the cosmos. And if life exists elsewhere, then we must ask, are we part of a larger cosmic community, one in which intelligent beings like ourselves have also evolved, looked up at the stars, and wondered about their place in the universe? These are questions that Galileo would have appreciated, for they challenge our assumptions and force us to expand our view of the world, and of the universe. They remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is not just about answers, but about the journey itself. It is about asking questions, seeking understanding, and embracing the unknown. The universe, in all its vastness, is not a cold, empty place. It is alive with possibilities. It is a place of immense beauty, where galaxies collide, stars are born, and planets dance in the light of distant suns. It is a place where the laws of nature operate with stunning precision, and where, on at least one small planet, life emerged, evolved, and began to explore its surroundings. As we continue our journey through the cosmos, let us remember the lessons of Galileo and Sagan. Let us remain curious, let us continue to explore, and let us never lose sight of the wonder that comes from looking up at the night sky and asking, what is out there? For in the end, the universe is not just a place we observe, it is a place we are part of. And as long as we continue to ask questions, as long as we continue to seek understanding, we will remain connected to the stars, to the cosmos, and to the grand, unfolding story of existence itself. As we continue to explore the cosmos, we are drawn into an ever-deepening understanding of the intricate web that connects us to the universe. Galileo's early observations were a revelation to humanity, showing that the cosmos was not just a distant backdrop, but a dynamic, ever-changing landscape that operates according to the same laws that govern life here on Earth. Today, our understanding has expanded, yet the fundamental questions remain the same. What is our place in this vast universe? What role do we, as conscious beings, play in the grand unfolding of the cosmos? When Galileo turned his telescope toward the skies, he did so with a spirit of curiosity and defiance, challenging the prevailing beliefs of his time. He showed us that the Earth was not the center of the universe, but rather, just one world among many, orbiting a star that was itself one of countless others. This realization, that we are not the center, was perhaps one of the most profound shifts in human thought. It forced us to rethink everything we thought we knew about our place in the cosmos, and it opened the door to an entirely new way of seeing the universe. Centuries later, Carl Sagan would continue this journey, taking Galileo's discoveries and expanding them to encompass the vastness of the universe. Sagan reminded us that while we may be small in the grand scheme of things, our ability to understand the universe is what makes us remarkable. We are, as he said, star stuff contemplating the stars. The atoms that make up our bodies were forged in the hearts of ancient stars, scattered across the cosmos, and eventually brought together by the forces of nature to create life that is now capable of reflecting on its own origins. This brings us to one of the great philosophical questions of our time: what does it mean to be alive in a universe that appears indifferent to our existence? The stars, the galaxies, the black holes, and the nebulae, they are all part of a cosmic dance that has been unfolding for billions of years, long before humanity existed and will continue long after we are gone. And yet, here we are, conscious beings capable of contemplating the cosmos, capable of asking questions about our origins, our purpose, and our future. This ability to ask questions, to seek answers, is at the very heart of what makes us human. It is what drove Galileo to challenge the orthodoxy of his time, and it is what drives scientists today to explore the farthest reaches of space. But it is not just the pursuit of knowledge for knowledge's sake, it is something deeper. It is the search for meaning in a universe that, for all its beauty and majesty, often seems indifferent to our existence. Consider, for a moment, the light from a distant galaxy. That light has traveled across the vastness of space for millions, even billions, of years before reaching our eyes. In that moment, we are not just seeing a distant object, we are witnessing the past. We are seeing the universe as it was long ago, frozen in time, before humanity ever existed. And yet, in that light, we find a connection to the cosmos. We realize that the atoms in our bodies were once part of that same cosmic journey, traveling across the universe, shaped by the same forces that govern the stars. This realization, that we are made of the same stuff as the stars, fundamentally changes our perspective on life. We are not separate from the universe, we are a part of it. The universe is not something out there, distant and remote, it is in us. It is in every atom, every molecule, every heartbeat. And this connection to the cosmos gives us a sense of belonging, a sense of being woven into the very fabric of existence. But with this realization comes a responsibility. We are stewards of a small, fragile planet, one that, as far as we know, is unique in its ability to support life. The Earth is our home, a pale blue dot in the vastness of space, and it is our responsibility to care for it. As Galileo's discoveries reminded us, we are not the center of the universe, but we are the center of our world. And it is up to us to ensure that this world remains habitable, not just for ourselves, but for future generations, and for the countless other species that share this planet with us. Carl Sagan often spoke of the cosmic perspective, a way of seeing the world that places our existence in the context of the universe as a whole. This perspective, he argued, is essential for understanding our place in the cosmos and for making wise decisions about the future. It reminds us that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the planet and for the universe. The cosmic perspective also invites us to embrace the unknown. For as much as we have learned about the universe, there is still so much that we do not understand. Dark matter and dark energy, which make up the majority of the universe, remain some of the greatest mysteries of modern science. We cannot see them, we cannot touch them, and yet we know they are there, shaping the structure of the cosmos in ways that we are only beginning to grasp. Black holes, those strange objects where space and time collapse, challenge our understanding of the very nature of reality. And the question of whether we are alone in the universe remains one of the most profound and tantalizing mysteries of all. Galileo would have relished these mysteries, for they remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is never-ending. Every discovery we make opens up new questions, new possibilities, new horizons to explore. This is the essence of science. It is not about having all the answers, but about continually seeking to expand our understanding of the world and the universe. It is about embracing uncertainty, about being willing to challenge our assumptions and to venture into the unknown. And yet, for all the unknowns, there is something deeply reassuring about the cosmos. The universe operates according to laws that are consistent, laws that we can understand and predict. The same forces that govern the motion of planets also govern the behavior of atoms. The same processes that created the stars also created us. In this sense, the universe is not chaotic, but ordered, a place where life can emerge, evolve, and flourish. As we look to the future, we must continue to nurture the spirit of curiosity and exploration that Galileo embodied. We must continue to ask questions, to seek answers, and to push the boundaries of our knowledge. For in doing so, we not only expand our understanding of the universe, we expand our understanding of ourselves. The stars, the planets, the galaxies, they are not just distant objects to be studied. They are part of the same cosmic web that connects us all. And as long as we continue to look up at the night sky with wonder, as long as we continue to explore the universe with curiosity and humility, we will remain part of that grand cosmic journey, a journey that began long before us and will continue long after we are gone. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we observe, it is a place we belong. And as we reach out into the unknown, guided by the light of distant stars and the spirit of discovery, we are reminded that we are not just observers of the cosmos, we are participants in its story. As we continue this journey, we are reminded that the cosmos does not simply unfold around us, it unfolds within us. Galileo, through his lens, showed us that the heavens are not perfect and immutable, but dynamic and full of surprises. The moon, with its craters and mountains, revealed itself to be a world unto itself, much like our own. Jupiter's moons, once invisible to the naked eye, danced in their orbits, proving that celestial bodies could revolve around something other than the Earth. These discoveries were more than scientific breakthroughs, they were a call to humanity to rethink our relationship with the universe. Centuries later, Carl Sagan would take that call to a new level, challenging us to see ourselves not as separate from the cosmos, but as integral parts of it. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself, Sagan often said. This idea, that the universe, through the process of evolution, has become aware of itself through us, places us in an extraordinary position. We are not merely observers of the cosmos, we are its consciousness, its storytellers, its explorers. And yet, for all the beauty and grandeur of this realization, we cannot escape the fact that the universe is a place of extremes. It is a place where stars are born in violent explosions of gas and dust, where black holes devour anything that crosses their event horizons, and where entire galaxies collide in cataclysmic displays of cosmic energy. It is a place where the forces of nature, from gravity to electromagnetism, operate on scales so vast, so immense, that they dwarf our human experience. But within this chaos, there is also order. The universe is governed by laws that are elegant in their simplicity and profound in their consistency. The same force that causes an apple to fall from a tree is the force that governs the orbits of planets, the trajectories of comets, and the expansion of the universe itself. This unity of natural law, this deep connection between the forces that shape the cosmos and the forces that shape our everyday lives, is one of the most humbling and inspiring truths of modern science. Galileo's insights laid the groundwork for this understanding. His observations challenged the prevailing view of the universe as a static, unchanging place. In revealing the imperfections of the moon, the moons of Jupiter, and the phases of Venus, he opened our eyes to the dynamic nature of the cosmos, a cosmos that is always in motion, always evolving, always revealing new wonders. Today, we build on this legacy, looking deeper into the universe than ever before. With instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope and the James Webb Space Telescope, we can peer back in time, seeing light from galaxies formed just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. We can study the formation of stars and planets in distant nebulae, and we can explore the strange and mysterious worlds that orbit other stars. Each new discovery adds another layer to our understanding, another piece to the puzzle of existence. But for all our advances, we are still only beginning to grasp the true nature of the universe. Dark matter and dark energy, two of the most profound mysteries of our time, remain elusive. Together, they make up about 95% of the universe, yet we cannot directly observe them. We know they exist because we can see their effects on galaxies and the expansion of the universe, but their true nature remains beyond our current understanding. What is dark matter made of? What drives the accelerating expansion of the universe? These are questions that challenge the very foundations of our knowledge and remind us that the universe is far stranger and more complex than we can imagine. Galileo, were he alive today, would undoubtedly marvel at these mysteries. He would relish the unknown, seeing in it the same potential for discovery that he saw in the night sky through his telescope. And Sagan, too, would remind us that the search for answers to these cosmic questions is not just a scientific endeavor, it is a deeply human one. For in seeking to understand the universe, we are also seeking to understand ourselves. Consider the search for life beyond Earth. This quest is, at its core, a reflection of our deepest questions about existence. Are we alone in the universe? Is life a rare and fragile phenomenon, confined to a single planet in a single solar system? Or is it common, spread across the stars like grains of sand on a beach? These are questions that transcend science, they touch on the very nature of who we are and what it means to be alive. The discovery of even the most basic form of life, microbial life on Mars, for example, would be one of the most profound moments in human history. It would confirm that life is not a singular anomaly, but a natural consequence of the universe's unfolding. It would force us to reconsider our place in the cosmos, to see ourselves not as isolated beings on a lonely planet, but as part of a larger cosmic community. And if we were to discover intelligent life, if we were to make contact with a civilization that has been observing the universe as long as we have, or perhaps even longer, it would fundamentally change the way we view ourselves and our world. It would challenge our assumptions about intelligence, consciousness, and what it means to be human. Yet even if we never find life beyond Earth, the search itself has value. It teaches us about the fragility of life, the conditions that make life possible, and the delicate balance that sustains it. In exploring other worlds, we learn more about our own, and in seeking to understand the cosmos, we deepen our understanding of ourselves. This is perhaps the most profound legacy of Galileo and Sagan. They showed us that the universe is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced. They taught us that curiosity is the driving force behind all human progress, and that the search for knowledge is a noble and necessary endeavor. They reminded us that while we may be small in the grand scheme of things, we are capable of great things. The universe is vast, and our time in it is brief. But within that brief time, we have the power to explore, to discover, and to create meaning. We are, in a very real sense, the universe becoming aware of itself. And as we continue to ask questions, to seek answers, and to look up at the stars with wonder, we carry forward the legacy of those who came before us. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we observe, it is a place we belong. It is the story of all things, of galaxies and stars, of planets and moons, of life and consciousness. And we, with our telescopes and our spacecraft, our questions and our dreams, are part of that story. As long as we continue to explore, to ask, and to wonder, we will remain part of the grand cosmic journey, a journey that began billions of years ago with the birth of the stars and will continue long after we are gone, stretching across the vastness of space and time, ever unfolding, ever revealing new wonders. As we continue this cosmic journey, we come to understand that the universe is not only a vast expanse of space and time but also a deep reservoir of possibilities that challenge our perceptions of existence, of life, and of consciousness. Galileo, with his simple telescope, was one of the first to lift the veil on the heavens, showing us that the cosmos is far more intricate and wondrous than our limited senses can perceive. He revealed a universe that obeys laws that we, as human beings, have the unique ability to comprehend. Today, with instruments far more powerful than Galileo could have ever imagined, we peer deeper into the universe, probing its mysteries and continuing the search for answers to questions that have puzzled humanity for millennia. Among the most profound of these questions is the search for extraterrestrial life. We know that the building blocks of life, organic molecules, are common throughout the universe. We have detected them in comets, in the atmospheres of distant planets, and in the cold, dark clouds of interstellar space. But the question remains, is life, as we know it, a rare and precious phenomenon, or is it one of the universe's many expressions of its own potential? As we send probes to Mars, as we study the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, and as we explore exoplanets orbiting distant stars, we are driven by this question. It is a question that transcends science, it touches the core of our human identity. Are we alone in this vast cosmic sea, or are we part of a larger, interconnected web of life that spans the stars? If we were to find life beyond Earth, whether in the form of simple microbes beneath the surface of Mars or more complex organisms swimming in the hidden oceans of Europa or Enceladus, it would represent one of the most significant discoveries in the history of humanity. It would tell us that life is not confined to the narrow conditions of our own planet, but that it is, perhaps, a fundamental feature of the universe, a phenomenon that arises wherever the conditions are right. But what if life is more than just a biological process? What if the universe is filled with not only life, but with intelligence, civilizations that, like us, have looked to the stars and wondered about their place in the cosmos? The possibility of intelligent extraterrestrial life is one that has fascinated thinkers for centuries. From Galileo's time to our own, we have wondered whether we might one day communicate with beings from distant worlds, beings who have evolved under different stars, with different cultures, different technologies, and different ways of understanding the universe. And yet, for all our searching, we have not yet found evidence of intelligent life beyond Earth. This is the heart of the Fermi paradox. In a universe so vast, with billions of stars and even more planets, where is everyone? If intelligent life is common, why have we not yet encountered it? There are many possible answers to this paradox. One possibility is that intelligent civilizations are exceedingly rare, that the conditions necessary for life to evolve to the level of complexity required for intelligence are so specific, so fragile, that they occur only rarely, even in a universe as vast as ours. Another possibility is that intelligent civilizations, once they arise, do not last long. They may destroy themselves through war, environmental collapse, or technological catastrophe before they ever have the chance to reach out to the stars. Yet another possibility is that intelligent civilizations are out there, but they are simply too far away for us to detect. The distances between stars are immense, and even the most powerful signals we could send would take years, centuries, or even millennia to reach another civilization. By the time our signals arrived, the civilization that received them might already be gone, or they might exist in a form so different from us that we would not recognize their communication as such. It is also possible that intelligent civilizations are intentionally avoiding us. Perhaps they have learned to remain silent, understanding that broadcasting their presence to the cosmos could be dangerous, attracting the attention of hostile forces. Or perhaps they are waiting for us to reach a certain level of development before making contact, ensuring that we are ready for the profound shift in perspective that such a discovery would bring. Whatever the answer, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, remains one of the most intriguing and ambitious projects in human history. It is a search that reflects not only our curiosity about the universe, but our desire to understand ourselves. For if we are not alone, if there are other beings out there who have also evolved, who have also looked up at their night sky and wondered about the nature of existence, then we are part of something far greater than we have ever imagined. We are part of a cosmic community, bound together not by geography or culture, but by the shared experience of being conscious in a universe filled with mystery. Carl Sagan often spoke of the pale blue dot, that famous image of Earth taken by the Voyager spacecraft from the edge of our solar system. In that image, Earth appears as nothing more than a tiny speck, suspended in a beam of sunlight, floating in the vastness of space. From that distant vantage point, all of human history, all of our struggles and triumphs, all of our wars and discoveries, seem small and insignificant. And yet, in that smallness, there is also a profound sense of significance. For in the vastness of the universe, we are one of the few places, perhaps the only place, where the universe has become conscious of itself. This consciousness, this ability to reflect on the cosmos and our place within it, is what sets us apart. It is what gives meaning to our search for extraterrestrial life, for in seeking others, we are also seeking to understand ourselves. We are asking whether the story of life on Earth is unique, or whether it is part of a much larger, much grander narrative that spans the stars. And even if we never find other intelligent beings, the search itself will have taught us something valuable. It will have taught us about the nature of life, the conditions that make life possible, and the fragility of the ecosystems that sustain it. It will have reminded us that we are custodians of a rare and precious world, one that teems with life in a universe that, as far as we know, is mostly silent and lifeless. But the silence of the universe does not diminish its beauty. In fact, it enhances it. For in that silence, we find room for wonder, for contemplation, for the deep, abiding sense of mystery that has driven explorers and thinkers from Galileo's time to our own. The universe, with all its stars and galaxies, its nebulae and black holes, is not just a place we inhabit, it is a place that invites us to explore, to question, and to dream. And as long as we continue to look to the stars, as long as we continue to ask the big questions, about life, about intelligence, about the nature of the cosmos, we will remain connected to that grand cosmic journey. For the search for extraterrestrial life is not just about finding others, it is about understanding what it means to be alive, to be conscious, and to be part of this vast, magnificent universe. In the end, the greatest discovery may not be the detection of a distant civilization or the confirmation of life on another planet. The greatest discovery may be the realization that we are, in fact, the universe itself, made of stars, shaped by the same forces that govern the galaxies, and capable of wondering at the vastness of it all. As we venture further into this exploration, the questions surrounding extraterrestrial life continue to draw us deeper into the vast, mysterious fabric of the universe. Galileo's telescope, when first pointed toward the stars, revealed a cosmos filled with more complexity and motion than humanity had ever imagined. Today, as we look to the skies with far more advanced instruments, we are beginning to understand just how intricate and full of potential this universe truly is. But it is not just the search for extraterrestrial life that drives us, it is the deeper quest to understand the nature of life itself. What are the conditions that give rise to life? Is it a fragile and rare occurrence, requiring an extraordinary set of circumstances, or is life a natural byproduct of the processes that govern the universe, likely to appear wherever the conditions are even remotely favorable? When we look at Earth, we see a planet teeming with life in every imaginable form, from the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountaintops, from the hottest deserts to the coldest polar ice caps. Life, it seems, is remarkably adaptable, able to thrive in extreme environments that were once thought to be completely inhospitable. This discovery, that life can exist in such a wide range of conditions, has transformed the way we think about the potential for life elsewhere in the cosmos. If life can survive and even flourish in the extreme environments of Earth, around hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, in the acidic pools of Yellowstone, or within the icy crusts of Antarctica, then perhaps it can exist in the similarly extreme environments of other planets and moons. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is covered in a thick layer of ice, but beneath that ice is believed to be a vast ocean of liquid water. Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, also harbors subsurface oceans, from which geysers of water vapor erupt through cracks in the ice. These moons, with their hidden oceans, represent some of the most promising places in our solar system where life might exist, not as we know it on the surface of Earth, but in deep, dark environments similar to the hydrothermal vents where life thrives at the bottom of our oceans. But it is not just the icy moons of our solar system that intrigue us. Mars, with its dry, barren landscape, may have once been a much more hospitable world. Evidence suggests that ancient Mars had liquid water flowing across its surface, filling rivers, lakes, and perhaps even oceans. Could life have once existed on Mars, when its climate was more temperate? And if so, could some form of life still be clinging to existence beneath the surface, in underground reservoirs of water? These are questions that drive the missions to Mars today, with rovers like Perseverance scouring the planet for signs of ancient life, and future missions aiming to bring samples back to Earth for closer study. Yet, for all the excitement about life within our own solar system, the real frontier of the search for life lies beyond, among the stars. The discovery of exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars, has opened up a whole new realm of possibility. We now know that planets are not rare, they are ubiquitous. Almost every star we observe has planets orbiting it, and some of these planets are located in what we call the habitable zone, the region around a star where conditions might be just right for liquid water to exist on a planet's surface. This discovery has revolutionized our understanding of the cosmos, suggesting that there may be countless worlds where life could potentially arise. And yet, for all our discoveries, the universe remains silent. Despite decades of searching, we have not yet detected any signals from intelligent civilizations. This brings us back to the Fermi paradox: if the universe is filled with potentially habitable planets, where is everyone? Why haven't we found any evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence? One possible explanation is that intelligent life is indeed extremely rare. Perhaps the conditions required for life to evolve to the level of intelligence are far more specific than we realize. Or perhaps intelligent civilizations, once they arise, do not last long enough to make contact with others. After all, we humans have only been capable of sending signals into space for a little over a century, a mere blink of an eye in the grand timeline of the universe. Another possibility is that advanced civilizations are simply too far away. The distances between stars are so vast that even if intelligent beings are out there, communicating with them would be a slow and difficult process, requiring patience and technology far beyond what we currently possess. It is also possible that intelligent civilizations use forms of communication that we do not yet understand, or that they exist in ways that are so fundamentally different from us that we are incapable of recognizing their presence. But there is another, more philosophical possibility to consider. Perhaps the reason we have not found extraterrestrial intelligence is because we are, in fact, the first. What if humanity is among the earliest civilizations to emerge in the universe? If that is the case, then we are pioneers, standing at the dawn of a new cosmic era, one in which intelligent life is just beginning to take hold in the universe. This idea is both exhilarating and humbling. It suggests that we, as a species, have a unique responsibility. We are not only explorers of the cosmos, we are its first witnesses, its first conscious observers. This possibility, that we are alone, at least for now, forces us to confront our own fragility. Our civilization is young, and we are only just beginning to understand the complexities of the universe. We have the ability to look out at the stars, to imagine what might exist on distant worlds, and to dream of a future in which we might one day travel to those worlds. But at the same time, we are reminded that our place in the cosmos is delicate. The Earth, with its life-sustaining atmosphere, its abundance of water, and its rich biodiversity, is a rare and precious world. We must take care of it, for it may be the only home we ever have. This brings us back to the pale blue dot, that image of Earth taken from the edge of the solar system, a tiny speck of blue in the vastness of space. From that distant vantage point, we see Earth not as a collection of nations, not as a battleground of ideologies, but as a single, fragile world, floating in the dark void of the cosmos. It is a reminder that we are all in this together, that our differences pale in comparison to the immensity of the universe, and that the challenges we face, climate change, resource depletion, conflict, must be addressed with the understanding that we are one species, sharing one planet. Galileo, in his time, could not have imagined the world we live in today, where we send robotic explorers to other planets, where we detect planets orbiting distant stars, and where we contemplate the possibility of life beyond Earth. But he understood, as we do now, that the search for knowledge is a noble and necessary pursuit. It is through this search that we come to understand not only the universe but ourselves. Carl Sagan often spoke of the cosmic perspective, the idea that by looking outward, by exploring the universe, we gain a deeper understanding of our place within it. This perspective is not only humbling, it is empowering. It reminds us that while we may be small in the grand scheme of things, we are capable of great things. We are capable of exploring, of understanding, and of creating meaning in a universe that is, for the most part, indifferent to our existence. And so, as we continue our search for life beyond Earth, let us carry with us the curiosity of Galileo and the wonder of Sagan. Let us explore the cosmos not only with our instruments and our technologies but with our minds and our hearts. For in the end, the search for extraterrestrial life is not just about finding others, it is about understanding what it means to be alive in a universe that is vast, mysterious, and beautiful. Whether or not we find life beyond Earth, the search itself is a testament to the human spirit, a spirit that seeks to understand, to explore, and to connect with the cosmos. And as long as we continue to look up at the stars with wonder, as long as we continue to ask questions and seek answers, we will remain part of the grand cosmic journey, a journey that began long before us and will continue long after we are gone, stretching across the stars and the galaxies, ever unfolding, ever revealing new wonders. As we move forward into the heart of this cosmic journey, it becomes ever clearer that the search for extraterrestrial life is more than a scientific endeavor, it is a reflection of our most fundamental questions about existence. The more we learn about the universe, the more we realize how vast and ancient it is, and how little we know about the forces that shaped it. Yet, despite the staggering immensity of space and time, the human desire to explore, to discover, and to connect has persisted through the ages. Galileo's telescope, though primitive by today's standards, was a window to the universe, a tool that transformed the way humanity understood its place in the cosmos. It was through that small lens that we first glimpsed moons orbiting Jupiter, shattering the ancient belief that all heavenly bodies revolved around the Earth. Galileo's discoveries represented the first crack in a worldview that placed us at the center of creation. Today, we look back on those early observations and realize they were the beginning of something much larger, an ongoing journey to understand not only the universe but our role within it. Carl Sagan built upon this foundation, using the tools of modern science to reveal the extraordinary nature of the cosmos. He reminded us that the same laws of physics apply everywhere in the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. And he reminded us, too, that we are made of the same elements as the stars, that the universe is not something apart from us, but something we are intrinsically connected to. This realization is at once humbling and empowering. It tells us that while we may be small, our ability to understand the universe is one of the most remarkable achievements of life itself. Now, as we continue to search for other forms of life in the universe, we are forced to ask ourselves, what would it mean to discover that we are not alone? How would contact with an extraterrestrial civilization change our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos? One possibility is that the discovery of extraterrestrial life, whether microbial or intelligent, would be a unifying moment for humanity. Throughout history, we have often defined ourselves by our differences, by the borders between nations, by the distinctions between cultures, by the conflicts over resources and ideas. But the realization that we are not the only intelligent beings in the universe might shift that perspective. It might force us to see ourselves not as separate nations, but as a single species, sharing a fragile world in a vast and mysterious universe. This cosmic shift in perspective could lead to a new era of cooperation, as humanity turns its gaze outward toward the stars. It might inspire us to work together to solve the problems that face us here on Earth: climate change, poverty, inequality, and conflict, understanding that we are all passengers on the same small, blue planet, adrift in the dark sea of space. The challenges we face, though daunting, are surmountable when viewed through the lens of our shared responsibility to protect the only home we know. But there is another possibility, one that speaks to the deeper philosophical and existential implications of discovering extraterrestrial life. What if we find that we are indeed alone, at least for now? What if, despite all our searching, we find no evidence of intelligent civilizations, no signals from distant worlds, no artifacts of advanced technology? This realization, though sobering, would not diminish the significance of our existence. Instead, it might serve as a reminder of just how extraordinary life on Earth truly is. In a universe that is, for the most part, cold and lifeless, the emergence of life, conscious, intelligent life, on our planet represents something truly remarkable. It suggests that life, wherever it appears, is a rare and precious phenomenon, one that must be nurtured and protected. If we are alone in the universe, then we carry a special responsibility. We are the stewards of life, the caretakers of a world that has produced not only diverse ecosystems and complex organisms, but beings capable of reflecting on their own existence. In this sense, the search for extraterrestrial life is not just about finding others, it is about understanding what it means to be alive, to be conscious, and to be aware of our place in the grand narrative of the cosmos. There is a third possibility as well, one that stretches the imagination even further. What if the life we are searching for is so different from our own that we fail to recognize it when we find it? What if extraterrestrial intelligence exists in forms that are beyond our comprehension, in ways that defy our understanding of biology, technology, or consciousness? The universe, after all, is full of surprises, and life, as we know it, may be just one of many possible expressions of the laws of nature. This idea, that life and intelligence could exist in forms we cannot yet imagine, forces us to expand our definition of what it means to be alive or intelligent. Could life exist as pure energy, as patterns of information encoded in the fabric of space-time itself? Could intelligent beings communicate through means that do not rely on language or signals, but through the manipulation of physical forces or even quantum phenomena? These possibilities, though speculative, remind us that the universe is far more complex and mysterious than we can currently comprehend. Whether we find life that is similar to us, vastly different, or discover that we are alone, the journey itself holds profound meaning. The search for life beyond Earth is not just about answering scientific questions, it is about confronting the deepest questions of existence. Who are we? Why are we here? What is the purpose of life in a universe that is so vast and seemingly indifferent to our presence? These are questions that transcend science. They are questions that touch on philosophy, ethics, and spirituality. They force us to consider the nature of consciousness, the meaning of life, and the responsibilities we have as the only known intelligent beings in the cosmos. If we are to find other intelligent beings, or if we are to discover that we are alone, one thing remains clear: the universe, in all its complexity and beauty, is a place of infinite possibility. It is a place where stars are born and die, where galaxies collide and merge, where black holes warp the very fabric of space and time. It is a place where life, in all its diversity and fragility, can emerge, evolve, and thrive. And it is a place where, on at least one small planet, beings have arisen who can contemplate their own existence, who can ask questions about the nature of reality, and who can seek to understand the cosmos in which they live. Galileo and Sagan, in their time, were driven by the same desire, to understand the universe, to explore its mysteries, and to share the wonder of discovery with others. They saw science not just as a method for acquiring knowledge, but as a way of connecting with the cosmos, of finding meaning in the vastness of space and time. Today, as we continue their legacy, we are reminded that the search for life, the search for knowledge, and the search for meaning are all part of the same grand journey, a journey that began when humanity first looked up at the stars and wondered. The universe, in all its magnificence, invites us to keep exploring, to keep asking questions, and to keep seeking answers. Whether we find life beyond Earth or not, the search itself is a testament to the human spirit, a spirit of curiosity, of wonder, and of the desire to understand our place in the cosmos. And as long as we continue to look to the stars, as long as we continue to seek out the mysteries of the universe, we will remain connected to that grand cosmic narrative, a narrative that stretches across time and space, across the stars and galaxies, ever unfolding, ever revealing new wonders. As we continue to explore the profound possibilities of our relationship with the universe, the search for extraterrestrial life becomes not just a scientific endeavor but a deeply philosophical and ethical question. What if we do make contact with an intelligent civilization? What would that mean for us as a species? And what responsibilities would we carry as representatives of Earth, stepping into a cosmic dialogue that has the potential to reshape everything we know? First, let us imagine the moment of contact, the day when, perhaps, a signal is received from a distant star, carrying with it unmistakable evidence of intelligent life. Such a discovery would be one of the most transformative moments in human history. It would force us to confront the reality that we are not alone, that life has evolved elsewhere in the universe, and that intelligent beings, different from ourselves yet capable of thought and communication, have arisen on distant worlds. The immediate reaction to such a discovery would be a mixture of awe, fear, and excitement. Awe, because we would be witnessing something truly extraordinary, confirmation that the cosmos is home to more than just the human race. Fear, because the unknown always carries with it a sense of danger. What kind of civilization is reaching out to us? What are their intentions? Do they seek peaceful exchange, or do they view us as insignificant or even hostile? And excitement, because this discovery would open up a new chapter in the story of humanity, a chapter in which we are no longer just citizens of Earth, but participants in a larger, interstellar community. But beyond these initial emotions, the discovery of intelligent extraterrestrial life would raise profound ethical questions. How do we engage with a civilization that may have developed in ways entirely different from our own? What kind of dialogue can we have with beings whose cultures, technologies, and philosophies may be far beyond our comprehension? And how do we ensure that this contact does not lead to unintended harm, either to ourselves or to the civilization we encounter? One of the first challenges we would face is the issue of communication. Even if we receive a signal from another civilization, understanding its meaning would be an enormous task. Their language, their symbols, their methods of encoding information may be radically different from anything we know. If their biology or technology has evolved along completely different lines from ours, they may think, process information, or even experience reality in ways that are incomprehensible to us. This is a scenario that reminds us of the limitations of human understanding, even as we strive to transcend them. Yet, if we manage to decode their message, if we are able to establish some form of communication, we would then be faced with the deeper ethical question of how to proceed. Do we immediately respond, eager to engage in a dialogue with this alien civilization? Or do we take a more cautious approach, weighing the potential risks before making our presence known? After all, history has shown that contact between civilizations on Earth, especially when one is more technologically advanced than the other, can lead to unintended consequences, often with tragic results. This brings us to one of the central ethical dilemmas of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, the balance between curiosity and caution. On one hand, the desire to learn, to explore, and to connect with another form of intelligent life is a fundamental aspect of the human spirit. It is the same drive that led Galileo to point his telescope at the stars and that inspires us to send spacecraft to distant planets. On the other hand, the unknown nature of extraterrestrial civilizations means that we must approach contact with humility and respect, recognizing that we may not fully understand the consequences of our actions. We must also consider the potential risks to ourselves. What if the civilization we contact is far more advanced than we are? What if they view us as primitive, inconsequential, or even dangerous? In such a scenario, the power dynamics between our two civilizations could be highly asymmetrical, and we would need to tread carefully to avoid provoking hostility or misunderstanding. Moreover, the introduction of advanced alien technology or knowledge could have profound effects on our own society, potentially disrupting our economic, political, and social systems in ways we cannot predict. At the same time, we must consider the risks to the extraterrestrial civilization. If we are the more advanced species, we have a responsibility to ensure that our contact does not cause harm. History is filled with examples of how more technologically advanced civilizations have inadvertently, or deliberately, destroyed or oppressed less advanced societies. In our eagerness to share knowledge or establish relationships, we must be mindful of the impact we might have on the development of the other civilization. This is not just a matter of ethics, it is a matter of responsibility. If we are to step onto the interstellar stage, we must do so with the understanding that our actions could have consequences that extend far beyond our own planet. These ethical concerns extend even further when we consider the possibility that extraterrestrial civilizations may have their own systems of morality, their own philosophies, and their own ways of understanding the universe. What if their values are fundamentally different from ours? What if they have no concept of individual rights, democracy, or human equality? How do we engage with beings whose moral framework is so alien to our own, and how do we reconcile their views with our own ethical principles? In this sense, contact with extraterrestrial intelligence would not only challenge our understanding of science and technology, it would challenge our understanding of morality in ethics. It would force us to confront the fact that our ethical systems, which we often view as universal, may be just one way of making sense of a complex and diverse universe. It would invite us to consider the possibility that there are other ways of being, other ways of living, and other ways of understanding right and wrong. This is where the legacy of thinkers like Galileo and Sagan becomes so important. Both of these visionaries understood that the search for knowledge is not just about acquiring facts, it is about expanding our minds and our hearts, about embracing the unknown with curiosity, humility, and a deep respect for the complexity of the universe. Galileo, in his time, faced fierce opposition from those who clung to old ways of thinking, but he persevered, driven by a desire to understand the cosmos. Sagan, too, reminded us that the universe is not just a place of cold, hard facts, it is a place of wonder, beauty, and meaning. In the same way, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence and the potential for contact with alien civilizations invite us to expand our moral imagination. They ask us to consider what it means to be part of a universe that is teeming with possibility, and they challenge us to think deeply about our responsibilities as explorers, as scientists, and as representatives of Earth. Even if we never make contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, the search itself has value. It forces us to think beyond our immediate concerns, to look outward rather than inward, and to consider the bigger picture. It reminds us that we are part of a much larger story, a cosmic story that has been unfolding for billions of years, long before humanity appeared on the scene, and that will continue long after we are gone. And in this realization, we find not only humility but also hope. For while we may be small in the grand scheme of things, our ability to wonder, to ask questions, and to seek understanding is one of the most extraordinary things about us. We are, as Sagan said, star stuff contemplating the stars. We are a way for the universe to know itself, and in that knowledge, we find meaning. As we continue to explore the universe, whether through telescopes, spacecraft, or the search for extraterrestrial life, let us do so with a sense of wonder, respect, and responsibility. Let us remember that the universe, for all its vastness, is a place of profound connection, a place where every star, every planet, and every living being is part of a grand cosmic web that stretches across space and time. And as long as we continue to ask questions, to seek answers, and to reach out to the stars, we will remain part of that web, a part of the story of the universe, a story that is still unfolding, ever revealing new wonders, ever inviting us to explore, to learn, and to dream. As we push deeper into this exploration of our place in the universe and the ethical questions surrounding potential contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, we must also consider the long-term future of humanity. What lies ahead for us as a species, both here on Earth and beyond? How will our relationship with the cosmos shape our future, And how will our understanding of the universe influence the decisions we make as we move toward becoming a spacefaring civilization? Humanity stands at a pivotal moment in its history. For most of our existence, we have been confined to the surface of our planet, gazing up at the stars with curiosity and wonder but lacking the means to reach them. Now, for the first time, we have the technological capability to send spacecraft beyond Earth, to explore other planets, and perhaps one day to establish human colonies on worlds beyond our own. This represents not just a technological achievement, but a profound shift in how we think about our place in the universe. The idea of becoming a multiplanetary species, of expanding human civilization beyond the Earth, is both thrilling and daunting. It is thrilling because it opens up new horizons for exploration, discovery, and growth. The possibilities are endless. We could build colonies on Mars, mine asteroids for resources, travel to the outer reaches of our solar system, and perhaps even venture to other stars. These are dreams that have fueled the imaginations of scientists, writers, and visionaries for generations. But it is also daunting because it forces us to confront some of the most difficult ethical questions we have ever faced. What responsibilities do we carry as we expand beyond Earth? How do we ensure that we do not repeat the mistakes of our past, colonization, exploitation, environmental destruction, as we move into the cosmos? And what kind of future do we want to create as we take our first steps into the universe? One of the first challenges we will face as we move beyond Earth is how to treat other planets and celestial bodies. Should we view them as resources to be exploited, or as places to be protected and preserved? Mars, for example, is a world that has long captivated the human imagination. It is the most Earth-like planet in our solar system, with polar ice caps, seasons, and evidence that it once had flowing water on its surface. Many scientists believe that Mars could one day be terraformed, transformed into a habitable world for humans, with an atmosphere and climate similar to Earth's. This would allow us to establish permanent colonies on the planet, creating a second home for humanity. But the idea of terraforming Mars raises profound ethical questions. If we have the ability to transform a planet, do we have the right to do so? What if Mars harbors microbial life, deep beneath its surface or in its polar ice caps? Even the discovery of the most primitive forms of life would change the ethical calculus. Do we have the right to alter an environment that might support life, even if that life is very different from our own? Or should we prioritize the preservation of Mars in its natural state, allowing it to remain untouched by human hands? These questions become even more complex when we consider the possibility of finding more advanced forms of life on other worlds. If we discover an extraterrestrial civilization, how do we engage with them in a way that respects their autonomy, their culture, and their rights? How do we ensure that our contact does not cause harm either to them or to us? These are questions that we must grapple with now, as we stand on the brink of becoming a spacefaring species. Beyond the ethical considerations of planetary exploration and contact with extraterrestrial life, we must also think about the kind of society we want to create as we move into space. Space exploration, by its very nature, requires global cooperation. No single nation can shoulder the burden of space exploration alone. It is too vast, too expensive, and too complex. The International Space Station, for example, is a testament to what can be achieved when nations come together to work toward a common goal. It represents a model for future space exploration, one in which humanity collaborates as a species, rather than competing as individual nations. As we expand into space, we must carry this spirit of cooperation with us. The challenges we face, whether they be the logistical difficulties of establishing colonies on other planets, the ethical dilemmas of planetary protection, or the potential risks of encountering extraterrestrial civilizations, are too great for any one nation to solve alone. We must come together as a global community, united by our shared desire to explore, to discover, and to learn. But space exploration also forces us to confront the inequalities and injustices that exist here on Earth. As we invest resources in space exploration, we must ask ourselves, how do we ensure that the benefits of space are shared by all of humanity, rather than by a select few? How do we avoid creating new forms of inequality, where only the wealthy and powerful have access to the opportunities that space offers, while others are left behind? These questions are not just hypothetical, they are already being raised as private companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and others begin to take the lead in space exploration. While these companies have made remarkable strides in advancing space technology, there is a growing concern that the commercialization of space could lead to a future in which space becomes the domain of a few powerful corporations, rather than a shared resource for all of humanity. To address these concerns, we must think carefully about the legal and ethical frameworks that will govern space exploration. The Outer Space Treaty, signed in 1967, established some basic principles for the exploration and use of space, including the idea that space should be used for peaceful purposes and that no nation can claim sovereignty over a celestial body. But as we move into an era where private companies play a major role in space exploration, we may need to update or expand these frameworks to ensure that space remains a global commons, accessible to all. We must also consider the environmental impact of space exploration. Just as we have learned to recognize the importance of environmental stewardship here on Earth, we must apply those same principles to space. Space is not a limitless frontier, it is a delicate and fragile environment. The growing problem of space debris, for example, threatens not only future space missions but also the sustainability of space exploration itself. As we launch more satellites, spacecraft, and missions into space, we must ensure that we do so in a way that minimizes harm to the space environment. As we contemplate the future of humanity in space, we are reminded of the cosmic perspective, a perspective that Galileo helped to usher in with his telescope and that Carl Sagan articulated so beautifully. This perspective reminds us that we are not the center of the universe, but a part of it. We are one species, on one planet, in a vast and ancient cosmos. And as we look to the stars, we must remember that our actions have consequences, not only for ourselves but for the universe we inhabit. In this sense, the future of humanity in space is not just about technology or exploration, it is about responsibility. It is about how we choose to engage with the universe, how we choose to treat the planets, moons, and ecosystems we encounter, and how we choose to share the benefits of space exploration with all of humanity. It is about creating a future that is not only prosperous but just, not only innovative but ethical. As we continue our journey into the cosmos, let us carry with us the spirit of Galileo and Sagan, a spirit of curiosity, wonder, and humility. Let us explore the universe not as conquerors, but as stewards, recognizing that we are part of a larger whole. And let us ensure that, as we reach for the stars, we do so with a sense of responsibility, of care, and of respect for the universe that has given us the gift of life. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we explore, it is a place we belong. And as long as we continue to ask questions, to seek answers, and to look up at the night sky with wonder, we will remain part of the grand cosmic story, a story that is still unfolding, ever revealing new wonders, ever inviting us to dream, to explore, and to grow. As we move forward, contemplating humanity's future in space and our role as stewards of the cosmos, we are drawn deeper into the ethical, scientific, and philosophical challenges that lie ahead. The journey into space, though driven by a spirit of discovery and exploration, must also be guided by a deep sense of responsibility. The universe, vast and ancient, invites us to explore its mysteries, but it also demands that we proceed with caution, care, and humility. One of the key challenges we will face as we expand into space is the development of new technologies that allow us to travel farther and stay longer. Human beings, after all, are not naturally suited to survive in the harsh environments of space. The vacuum of space, the lack of atmosphere, the extreme temperatures, and the constant bombardment of cosmic radiation all present significant obstacles to long-term space travel and colonization. To overcome these challenges, scientists and engineers are working on a wide range of technologies, from advanced spacecraft propulsion systems to radiation shielding, to life support systems that can sustain human life in space for extended periods. These technologies represent the cutting edge of human ingenuity, but they also raise important ethical questions. How far should we go in modifying our bodies or our environments to survive in space? Should we embrace technologies that alter our biology, such as genetic engineering or cyborg enhancements, to make ourselves more resilient to the conditions of space? Or should we focus on adapting our spacecraft and habitats to meet the needs of our existing biology? This debate touches on deeper questions about the nature of humanity and our relationship with technology. If we begin to modify our bodies in significant ways, whether through genetic engineering, cybernetic enhancements, or other forms of biotechnology, are we still the same species? Do we risk losing something fundamental about what it means to be human as we evolve to become more adaptable to space? Or is this simply the next step in our evolutionary journey, one that allows us to transcend the limitations of our biology and continue exploring the universe? Some visionaries, like Elon Musk and other proponents of human colonization of Mars, argue that we must become a multiplanetary species to ensure the survival of humanity. The idea is that by establishing colonies on other planets, we can safeguard our species against existential threats such as asteroid impacts, nuclear war, or climate change. In this view, space is not just an opportunity for exploration, it is a lifeboat, a way to ensure the continuation of human civilization in the face of potential disaster. Yet, even as we plan for life on other planets, we must also consider the moral implications of leaving Earth behind. Should we prioritize the exploration and colonization of space over addressing the problems we face here on Earth? How do we balance the need to explore and expand with the need to care for our own planet, which remains the only home we have ever known? This tension between exploration and stewardship is not new. Throughout history, human beings have sought out new frontiers, whether crossing oceans, scaling mountains, or venturing into the depths of the Earth's wilderness. But with each new frontier, we have also had to reckon with the consequences of our actions. The colonization of new lands has often come at great cost, both to the indigenous peoples who lived there and to the natural environments that were disrupted. As we look to the stars, we must ask ourselves, how can we avoid repeating these mistakes? How can we explore space in a way that is ethical, just, and sustainable? One potential solution lies in the concept of planetary protection, a set of guidelines and principles aimed at preserving the natural environments of other planets and moons. These principles are based on the idea that we have a responsibility to avoid contaminating other worlds with Earth-based organisms or materials. If we are to explore Mars, Europa, Enceladus, or any other potentially habitable world, we must do so in a way that minimizes the risk of biological contamination, both to protect any potential alien life forms that may exist there and to preserve the scientific integrity of these worlds for future study. But planetary protection is not just about avoiding contamination. It is also about respecting the intrinsic value of other worlds. Even if we do not find life on Mars or other planets, these places still have value, cultural, scientific, and perhaps even spiritual. They are part of the natural heritage of the universe, and we have a responsibility to preserve them for future generations, just as we have a responsibility to preserve the natural wonders of Earth. This raises another important question: should we terraform other planets, such as Mars, to make them more hospitable to human life? Terraforming is the process of altering a planet's environment to make it more Earth-like, potentially by thickening the atmosphere, introducing water, or even releasing greenhouse gases to warm the surface. While this could make Mars a more viable place for human settlement, it would also fundamentally alter the planet's natural state. The ethics of terraforming are complex. On one hand, transforming Mars into a habitable world could provide a new home for humanity, offering a solution to overpopulation or environmental degradation on Earth. On the other hand, it could lead to the loss of Mars as it currently exists, a unique, pristine world that has been shaped by billions of years of natural processes. Do we have the right to change an entire planet for our own purposes, even if it is currently lifeless? And what if we discover life on Mars, even microbial life? Does the existence of even the smallest form of life give us a moral obligation to protect that planet from human interference? These questions are not easy to answer, but they highlight the need for a thoughtful, ethical approach to space exploration. As we move forward into the cosmos, we must ensure that our actions are guided by respect for both the universe and ourselves. We must ask not only what we can do, but what we should do. At the same time, the journey into space offers us the opportunity to reflect on the nature of progress and the values we want to carry with us as we explore new worlds. What kind of society do we want to build in space? How do we ensure that space exploration benefits all of humanity, rather than just a select few? And how do we create a future that is not only technologically advanced but also socially and environmentally just? In many ways, the challenges we face in space mirror the challenges we face here on Earth. As we grapple with issues like climate change, resource depletion, and inequality, we are reminded that the future is not predetermined, it is something we create through the choices we make. The same is true of space exploration. The decisions we make now, as we begin to explore the cosmos, will shape the future of humanity for generations to come. Carl Sagan often spoke of the pale blue dot, that image of Earth taken from the far reaches of our solar system. In that image, Earth appears as nothing more than a tiny speck, a fragile dot suspended in the vastness of space. From that perspective, our divisions, our conflicts, and our struggles seem small and insignificant. And yet, that pale blue dot is the only home we have ever known. It is the cradle of life, the place where humanity has evolved, and the only world that sustains us. As we look to the stars, we must remember the lessons of the pale blue dot. We must remember that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, part of a universe that is ancient, complex, and full of mystery. And we must carry with us the understanding that, while the universe offers us endless possibilities for exploration and discovery, we have a responsibility to care for the worlds we encounter, just as we have a responsibility to care for our own. In the end, the journey into space is not just about expanding our knowledge or our reach, it is about expanding our understanding of what it means to be human. It is about recognizing that we are part of a grand cosmic story, one that has been unfolding for billions of years and will continue long after we are gone. And as we take our first steps into that story, let us do so with a sense of wonder, a sense of responsibility, and a deep respect for the universe and all that it contains. For in the vastness of space, we may find not only new worlds but new ways of understanding ourselves and our place in the cosmos. And as long as we continue to explore with curiosity, humility, and care, we will remain part of the grand cosmic journey, a journey that connects us not only to the stars but to each other and to the universe as a whole. As we delve further into the philosophical and ethical dimensions of humanity's future in space, it becomes increasingly clear that our journey to the stars is not only a technological adventure but also a profound moral and existential challenge. The choices we make now, at this critical juncture, will shape the legacy we leave behind, not only on Earth but throughout the cosmos. How we choose to explore space, how we interact with new environments, and how we handle the discovery of extraterrestrial life, if it happens, will define us as a species. One of the most significant aspects of space exploration is the opportunity it offers to redefine what it means to be human. For thousands of years, humanity's story has been tied to Earth, to the cycles of nature, the seasons, the limits of geography, and the forces of biology that govern our lives. But as we step into the realm of space, those limitations begin to dissolve. Space, with its vastness, its lack of gravity, its infinite horizons, challenges our most basic assumptions about existence. Consider the possibility of long-term human settlements on other planets, such as Mars. What would life be like for the first generation of Martian colonists, and how would their experience differ from life on Earth? Mars is a world unlike any we have ever lived on. Its gravity is only about 1/3 that of Earth, its atmosphere is thin and unbreathable, and its surface is bombarded by radiation from space. In such an environment, humans would need to rely on advanced technology to survive, artificial habitats, life support systems, and protective suits. But beyond the practical challenges, there is a deeper question: how would living on Mars change us? Would we still see ourselves as Earthlings, Or would we begin to develop a new identity, one tied to our new home? Over time, might Martian colonists evolve into a distinct society, with its own culture, values, and ways of thinking? And what of the physical changes that might occur? The lower gravity on Mars could lead to changes in human physiology over generations, longer limbs, weaker muscles, and potentially even changes in the way we age. These changes, both cultural and biological, would mark the beginning of a new chapter in human evolution, one that extends beyond the boundaries of Earth. In a broader sense, living on other worlds might force us to reconsider what it means to belong to a planet. For all of human history, we have been tied to the rhythms of Earth, the rising and setting of the sun, the changing seasons, the cycles of day and night. But on Mars, those rhythms are different. A Martian day, or sol, is slightly longer than an Earth day, 24 hours and 39 minutes. A Martian year is nearly twice as long as an Earth year, and the planet's distance from the Sun means that sunlight is weaker, its warmth more distant. What would it mean to live in a place where time itself is different, where the sky is not blue but a pale pinkish hue, where the stars seem farther away? These questions force us to confront the fluidity of human identity. We have always thought of ourselves as beings of Earth, shaped by its environments, its ecosystems, its gravity. But as we move into space, we are no longer bound by those conditions. We are entering a new phase of our existence, one in which we have the potential to transcend the limitations of our biology and geography, to become something more than we have ever been. But this potential also brings with it ethical responsibilities. As we explore new worlds, we must be mindful of the impact we have, both on the environments we encounter and on ourselves. The principle of planetary protection, which guides current missions to Mars and other celestial bodies, reminds us that we must take care not to contaminate these worlds with Earth-based organisms. This is not just a scientific concern, it is an ethical one. If we discover life on Mars, no matter how primitive, we must ask ourselves, what right do we have to interfere with that life? Do we have a duty to preserve Mars as it is, as a world shaped by its own processes, or should we prioritize human colonization and transformation of the planet to suit our needs? These are not easy questions, and they require us to think deeply about the value of life in all its forms, as well as the role we wish to play in the universe. We often think of ourselves as explorers, driven by a desire to understand and to expand our horizons. But we are also caretakers, responsible for the worlds we encounter and the life forms that may exist there. The ethical questions surrounding planetary protection extend beyond Mars. As we explore moons like Europa and Enceladus, which are believed to have subsurface oceans that could potentially harbor life, we must grapple with the same dilemma. Should we drill through the ice of these moons to explore their oceans, risking contamination, or should we leave these environments untouched, preserving them for future generations of scientists to study? How do we balance the desire for discovery with the responsibility to protect? These questions also lead us to reflect on our role as a species. Are we conquerors, expanding into new frontiers with the intent to reshape them in our image? Or are we stewards, recognizing the value of the cosmos as it is, and striving to preserve its natural beauty and integrity? The answer to these questions will shape the future of space exploration and determine the kind of legacy we leave for future generations. In many ways, the ethical dilemmas we face in space are an extension of the challenges we face on Earth. The same questions about environmental stewardship, the protection of ecosystems, and the rights of indigenous peoples apply to our exploration of other planets. Just as we must consider the impact of deforestation, climate change, and pollution on Earth, we must consider the potential consequences of our actions in space. The choices we make now, as we begin to expand beyond our home planet, will set the tone for the future of humanity in the cosmos. At the same time, space exploration offers us the opportunity to develop new ways of thinking about our relationship with the universe. The discovery of life on another world, whether microbial or intelligent, would force us to confront our place in the grand scheme of things. It would challenge our assumptions about the uniqueness of life on Earth and remind us that we are part of a much larger, much older story. If we do encounter intelligent life, the ethical challenges would become even more complex. How do we engage with a civilization that may be far more advanced than we are, or one that has developed along entirely different lines? What rights do we have in such an encounter, and what responsibilities? Should we prioritize peaceful coexistence, even if that means limiting our own expansion into space, or should we assert our own interests and pursue the colonization of new worlds, regardless of the impact on other civilizations? These questions echo the debates about colonialism and imperialism that have shaped human history. Just as the European colonization of the Americas, Africa, and Asia had profound consequences for the indigenous peoples of those continents, our exploration of space could have similarly profound consequences for any life forms we encounter. We must learn from the lessons of history and approach space exploration with humility, recognizing that we are not the only beings who may have a stake in the future of the universe. This brings us to the deeper philosophical question of what kind of future we want to create as we move into space. Will we build a future based on cooperation, sustainability, and respect for other forms of life, or will we repeat the patterns of exploitation and domination that have characterized so much of human history? The cosmos offers us a blank slate, a chance to redefine what it means to be human and to build a society that reflects our highest ideals. But it also presents us with immense challenges, and the choices we make now will determine whether we rise to meet those challenges or fall short. As we contemplate our future in space, we must remember that the universe is not just a place to explore, it is a place that invites us to reflect on who we are and who we want to become. Space exploration is a journey not only outward, but inward, into the depths of our own humanity. It forces us to confront our fears, our hopes, our ambitions, and our responsibilities. It asks us to think deeply about the meaning of life, the nature of existence, and the role we play in the grand cosmic drama. And as long as we continue to explore with curiosity, humility, and a deep sense of responsibility, we will remain part of that cosmic story, a story that stretches across time and space, across the stars and galaxies, ever unfolding, ever revealing new wonders, ever challenging us to grow, to learn, and to become more than we were before. As we continue to trace the path of our future in space, one thing becomes clear: the universe is not only a place of exploration, but a mirror that reflects back to us the deepest aspects of our nature. In the tradition of Galileo, who first glimpsed the moons of Jupiter, and Carl Sagan, who reminded us that we are star stuff contemplating the stars, space is not just a destination, it is an invitation to reflect on what it means to be human, to consider our responsibilities as conscious beings in a vast and ancient cosmos. Galileo's discovery that Earth is not the center of the universe marked a pivotal moment in our understanding of the cosmos. It shattered the illusion of our centrality and, in doing so, expanded the boundaries of human knowledge. Today, as we prepare to extend our reach into space, we face a similar moment of reckoning. We must once again confront the fact that we are not the center, and that our actions, whether here on Earth or on distant worlds, have consequences that ripple far beyond ourselves. The discovery of other worlds, both in our solar system and beyond, offers us a chance to explore not only the physical nature of the cosmos but also the moral and ethical dimensions of our presence within it. As we stand on the cusp of becoming a multiplanetary species, we must ask ourselves, what kind of explorers do we want to be? Will we approach the universe with the same spirit of curiosity, wonder, and humility that guided Galileo and Sagan? Or will we repeat the mistakes of the past, seeing other worlds merely as resources to be exploited, with little regard for their intrinsic value or for the life that may exist there? One of the most profound questions we face is whether we will discover life beyond Earth. This is not just a scientific question, it is a question that touches the core of our identity. If we find life on Mars, Europa, or some distant exoplanet, it will force us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about life's uniqueness. No longer will we be able to think of Earth as the sole cradle of life in a barren universe. Instead, we will be part of a larger cosmic web, connected to life that has evolved in ways we can scarcely imagine. But even if we do not find life elsewhere, the universe itself, in its vast complexity, holds immense value. Each planet, each moon, each asteroid, is a testament to the forces that shape the cosmos, the same forces that shaped us. To look at Mars or Europa or any other world is to witness a part of the story of the universe. These places are not just stepping stones on our journey, they are living archives of cosmic history, and they deserve our respect. The idea of terraforming Mars, of transforming it into a world that can support human life, is a powerful one. It speaks to our deep desire to expand, to survive, to create a second home among the stars. But before we undertake such a monumental task, we must ask, what is the cost of such a transformation? Mars, in its current state, is a world shaped by billions of years of natural processes. It has its own story to tell, a story written in the layers of its rocks, its dry riverbeds, its ice caps. If we terraform Mars, do we risk erasing that story? And what if we find life on Mars? Even if that life is microbial, it raises profound ethical questions. Does the existence of life, no matter how simple, give Mars a claim to its own destiny, one that we must respect? Or do we have the right to change Mars to suit our own needs, even at the cost of its natural environment? These questions force us to confront the tension between our desire to explore and our responsibility to preserve. As we extend our reach into the cosmos, we must also consider the implications of contact with intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations. While the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, has yet to yield definitive results, the possibility remains that we may one day encounter beings who have evolved under different stars, in different environments, with different histories. If we do make contact, it will not only be the most significant discovery in human history, it will be a test of our ability to engage with the unknown. How do we communicate with a civilization that may be far more advanced than we are? How do we engage in a dialogue with beings whose values, cultures, and ways of thinking may be completely alien to us? And most importantly, how do we ensure that our contact does not lead to conflict, misunderstanding, or harm? Sagan often spoke of the cosmic perspective, a way of seeing ourselves not as isolated individuals or nations, but as part of a larger whole. From this perspective, we are all connected, not just to each other, but to the universe itself. The atoms in our bodies were forged in the hearts of ancient stars, and the light we see from distant galaxies has traveled across billions of years to reach us. This perspective reminds us that, for all our differences, we share a common origin and a common destiny. The cosmic perspective also challenges us to think beyond the immediate concerns of our everyday lives. It asks us to consider the long-term future of humanity, what kind of species we want to be, and what kind of legacy we want to leave behind. Will we be a species that respects the intrinsic value of other worlds, that seeks to explore with care and curiosity? Or will we be a species that imposes its will on the cosmos, without regard for the consequences? These are questions that Galileo, standing at the dawn of the scientific revolution, could never have imagined. But they are questions that we must confront as we prepare to step into the stars. For the first time in history, we have the ability to shape not only the future of our own planet but the future of other worlds as well. With that power comes responsibility. As we look to the future, we must also consider the possibility that we are, for now, alone in the universe. If that is the case, then the responsibility we carry is even greater. If life is rare, if intelligence is rarer still, then we may be the only conscious beings capable of reflecting on the nature of the cosmos. In that case, we are not just explorers, we are the universe's way of knowing itself. And with that knowledge comes the obligation to care for the universe, to protect it, and to ensure that its wonders are preserved for future generations. This is the message that both Galileo and Sagan would have imparted. Galileo, with his unyielding dedication to the pursuit of truth, and Sagan, with his boundless sense of wonder and his profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, would remind us that the universe is not ours to conquer, but ours to explore with humility and respect. The journey to the stars is not just a journey outward, it is a journey inward, into the depths of our own nature. It asks us to confront our fears, our hopes, our ambitions, and our responsibilities. It asks us to think deeply about the meaning of life, the nature of existence, and the role we play in the grand unfolding of the cosmos. As we continue this journey, let us carry with us the lessons of those who came before us. Let us explore the universe with curiosity, wonder, and a deep respect for the unknown. And let us remember that, for all our achievements, we are still at the beginning of the cosmic story, a story that stretches across time and space, across stars and galaxies, ever revealing new wonders, ever inviting us to dream, to explore, and to grow. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we inhabit, it is a place we are part of. And as long as we continue to seek knowledge, to ask questions, and to look up at the night sky with wonder, we will remain connected to the stars, to the cosmos, and to each other in ways that transcend the limits of time and space. As we venture further into the cosmic reflection, one theme continues to resonate: the universe is not just an expanse of stars, planets, and galaxies, it is a place of deep connection. Galileo's telescope gave humanity its first glimpse of the stars as they truly are, rather than as distant points of light in the night sky. In his time, those observations radically shifted our understanding of the universe, dismantling old, Earth-centered ideas and opening a doorway to infinite possibilities. Today, that door remains wide open, and every discovery we make expands the horizons of our knowledge and reshapes our relationship with the cosmos. Carl Sagan often spoke of the transformative power of cosmic exploration. He reminded us that by looking outward into the universe, we also learn to look inward, to examine our place within the grander scheme of existence. This dual journey, both outward and inward, challenges us to reconsider not only what we are but who we are and what we might become. As we contemplate the next steps in humanity's journey into space, we face questions that are no less revolutionary than those posed in Galileo's time. What happens to humanity when we are no longer bound to the Earth? What happens when our species begins to stretch beyond its planetary cradle, when we leave behind the familiar cycles of day and night, of seasons and gravitational forces, to live among the stars? This is not merely a technical question, though the technological hurdles of colonizing other worlds are significant, but a philosophical one. What does it mean to be human when the environment that shaped us over millions of years is left behind? Our bodies, our cultures, our very psychology have all evolved in response to Earth's unique conditions. How will living on Mars, or aboard space stations, or perhaps even on interstellar spacecraft, change the essence of who we are? Imagine, for instance, the first generations of humans born on Mars. For them, Earth would not be a home but a distant, almost mythical place, a pale blue dot they have only seen in images or learned about from history. Their bodies would adapt to Mars' lower gravity, and over time, they might evolve physical traits suited to their new environment. Their society would undoubtedly develop its own culture, its own ways of thinking, its own relationship to the universe. What will it mean for these Martians to look up at the stars from their red planet, knowing that they are part of a species that has begun to extend its reach across the cosmos? This brings us to the idea of human evolution beyond Earth. As we spread out into space, the environments we encounter will shape us, just as Earth has shaped life here for billions of years. But unlike the slow, gradual process of evolution that has governed life on Earth, the environments of space may prompt rapid changes, technological, biological, and cultural. We might develop advanced technologies that allow us to survive in harsh environments, or we might use genetic engineering to enhance our body's abilities to withstand radiation, adapt to low-gravity conditions, or even breathe in alien atmospheres. Such possibilities raise profound questions. Will we still be human, in the traditional sense, if we begin to alter our biology to fit other worlds? Or will we become something new, a species that transcends its terrestrial origins? And what of consciousness itself? As we venture deeper into space, we will be confronted with distances and timescales far beyond anything we have ever experienced. Traveling to the nearest star systems, for instance, would take generations, even with the most advanced propulsion systems we can imagine. How will the human mind, accustomed to the cycles of a single lifetime and the rhythms of a single planet, adapt to journeys that span centuries or millennia? Will we develop new ways of thinking, new ways of experiencing time and space? Could we eventually transcend the biological limitations of the human body entirely, transferring our consciousness into machines or other forms of existence that are better suited for the rigors of space travel? These questions push the boundaries of what we currently understand about life, consciousness, and identity. But they also remind us that space is not just a frontier to be explored, it is a crucible for transformation. The challenges we face in space will not only test our technologies, they will test our values, our ethics, and our sense of who we are as a species. One of the most significant transformations that could occur in our journey into space is the evolution of our consciousness. As we explore new worlds, encounter new challenges, and possibly even meet other forms of intelligent life, we may be forced to expand our understanding of what it means to be conscious. Could there be forms of life whose consciousness operates in ways entirely foreign to us, perhaps through means we cannot even conceive? Could our own consciousness evolve in response to these encounters, becoming more fluid, more adaptable, more attuned to the universe? This is where the cosmic perspective becomes so essential. Sagan often reminded us that, from the vantage point of the universe, our differences here on Earth, our conflicts, our struggles, our divisions, seem insignificant. The universe does not care about national borders or political ideologies. It is vast, ancient, and indifferent to the small dramas of human life. And yet, within that indifference lies a profound truth: we are all connected. The atoms that make up our bodies were forged in the hearts of stars. The energy that powers our thoughts, our emotions, our very being, is part of the same cosmic forces that govern the galaxies. This realization, that we are part of the universe, not separate from it, invites us to think differently about our future in space. Instead of seeing space as a resource to be exploited or a challenge to be conquered, we might begin to see it as a place where we can learn to live in harmony with the cosmos. Instead of imposing our will on other worlds, we might learn to adapt ourselves to the environments we encounter, creating societies that are not only technologically advanced but also spiritually and ethically attuned to the rhythms of the universe. Such a future would require a fundamental shift in how we think about exploration. Rather than viewing space as a frontier to be dominated, we would need to approach it with humility, with a recognition of the limits of our knowledge and the vastness of the mysteries that remain. We would need to learn from the universe, to allow it to shape us as much as we shape it. At the heart of this shift is the understanding that exploration is not just about reaching new places, it is about expanding our consciousness. Galileo's observations of the moons of Jupiter did not just reveal new celestial bodies, they expanded the human mind, challenging old beliefs and opening up new ways of thinking about the universe. In the same way, our journey into space will not just take us to new planets or stars, it will expand our understanding of who we are, what we are capable of, and what it means to be alive in a universe that is both indifferent and full of possibility. As we continue this journey, let us carry with us the legacy of those who have come before us, the legacy of Galileo, who dared to look beyond the known world, and Sagan, who reminded us that we are not just explorers but participants in the cosmic story. Let us approach the universe with curiosity, with wonder, and with a deep respect for the unknown. For in the end, the universe is not just a place we explore, it is a place that explores us, revealing new aspects of our nature with every discovery we make. The stars, the galaxies, the black holes, and the nebulae, all are part of a grand cosmic dance, one that has been unfolding for billions of years and will continue long after we are gone. But in our brief moment, we have the opportunity to participate in that dance, to contribute to the story of the universe in ways that are both profound and beautiful. And as long as we continue to look up at the night sky, as long as we continue to ask questions and seek answers, we will remain part of that story, a story that connects us not only to the cosmos but to each other and to the very fabric of existence itself. As we venture deeper into the vastness of space, reflecting on the possible evolution of human consciousness and our ethical responsibilities, we find ourselves standing on the edge of profound change. The universe beckons us forward, inviting us not just to explore its distant reaches, but to explore the depths of our own identity, what it means to be human, to be conscious, and to be part of a cosmos that is, at once, both indifferent and deeply interconnected with our existence. Galileo, gazing through his telescope centuries ago, could not have foreseen the profound consequences of his discoveries. He could not have imagined that his observations of the moons of Jupiter would lead to a revolution in human thought, one that continues to resonate today. But like Galileo, we stand on the threshold of new discoveries, discoveries that will challenge the very foundations of what we know, that will push the boundaries of our understanding, and that will require us to reimagine our place in the universe. As we contemplate the future of humanity in space, one thing becomes clear: we will not remain the same. Just as the environment of Earth shaped the evolution of life here, the environments of space, its vacuum, its radiation, its lack of gravity, will shape the evolution of life beyond Earth. This raises the fascinating possibility that as we spread out into the cosmos, humanity itself may begin to diverge. Just as different environments on Earth led to the development of diverse cultures, languages, and physical traits, the environments of space may give rise to new forms of human existence. Imagine, for instance, a future in which humans have colonized Mars, established space stations in orbit around distant moons, or even ventured into the outer reaches of our solar system. In such a future, the challenges of living in these environments would necessitate new technologies, new social structures, and perhaps even new forms of consciousness. Over time, the inhabitants of these distant worlds might develop their own ways of thinking, their own cultures, and their own adaptations to the environments in which they live. On Mars, with its lower gravity, thinner atmosphere, and longer days, human physiology might change. Future generations of Martians could evolve to be taller, with lighter bones and more efficient respiratory systems. Their culture might develop around the rhythms of the Martian soul, which lasts 24 hours and 39 minutes, slightly longer than an Earth day. The vast, open plains of Mars, combined with the knowledge that they are part of a species that spans 2 planets, might lead to a new sense of identity, one that is shaped not by Earth alone, but by the experience of living on 2 worlds. On space stations or spacecraft, where artificial gravity and life support systems are necessary for survival, life would be even more radically different. Without the constraints of a planetary surface, human settlements could be designed in entirely new ways, 3-dimensional cities that take advantage of zero-gravity environments, where up and down are relative concepts, and where human movement is no longer bound by the limitations of Earth's gravity. Over time, humans born and raised in such environments might develop new physical and cognitive abilities, becoming adept at navigating these complex, multidimensional spaces in ways that would seem almost alien to those still living on Earth. As we move even further into space, venturing beyond our solar system to explore the nearest stars, the changes to human life could become even more dramatic. Interstellar travel, even with the most advanced propulsion systems we can imagine, would take decades, centuries, or even millennia. This raises the question: how will humans adapt to journeys that span such vast distances and timescales? Will we develop new forms of cryogenic sleep, allowing travelers to hibernate through the long journey? Or will we turn to more radical solutions, such as transferring our consciousness into digital forms, allowing us to travel as streams of information that can be reassembled upon reaching our destination? Such possibilities may seem like the stuff of science fiction, but they are grounded in the real challenges of space travel. And with them come profound ethical and philosophical questions. If we begin to alter our biology or transfer our consciousness into non-biological forms, are we still human? What defines our humanity, our bodies, our minds, or something deeper? And as we expand into space, what kind of society do we want to create? Will we bring with us the divisions, conflicts, and inequalities that have plagued us on Earth, or will we seize the opportunity to build something new, something better? This brings us to the question of consciousness itself. As we explore the universe, we may also explore new ways of being conscious. The vastness of space, the isolation of living on distant planets or in the void between stars, and the encounter with alien life forms, if they exist, could all prompt a transformation in the way we experience reality. Could our consciousness expand to encompass the cosmos in new ways, just as our ancestors' minds expanded when they first looked up at the stars and wondered about their place in the universe? Carl Sagan often spoke of the cosmic perspective, the idea that by contemplating the universe, we gain a sense of humility, a recognition that we are small but significant, that we are part of a much larger story. This perspective challenges the ego, dissolving the boundaries between self and other, between human and cosmos. It invites us to see ourselves as participants in the unfolding story of the universe, connected to the stars, the galaxies, and all the processes that have shaped existence. As we move into space, this cosmic perspective may become not just a philosophical stance, but a lived experience. The vast distances, the alien landscapes, the isolation from Earth, all of these factors could lead to a profound shift in how we see ourselves. We may come to see our consciousness not as something confined to our individual minds, but as something that is intimately connected to the universe itself. Just as we are made of the same atoms that were forged in the hearts of stars, our minds, too, may come to reflect the vastness of the cosmos. This brings us back to the ethical dimension of space exploration. If we come to see ourselves as part of the universe, not separate from it, then we have a responsibility to care for it. The principles of planetary protection, which guide our exploration of Mars and other potentially habitable worlds, remind us that we must tread carefully, that we must respect the environments we encounter and the life forms, if any, that may exist there. But planetary protection is just the beginning. As we explore the universe, we must also think about the kind of future we want to create. Will we be a species that uses the resources of space for short-term gain, or will we be a species that learns to live in harmony with the cosmos? Will we exploit other worlds as we have exploited our own, or will we learn from the mistakes of the past and approach the universe with a sense of stewardship, recognizing that we are part of something much larger than ourselves? These are questions that Galileo, in his time, could never have imagined. But they are questions that we must confront as we prepare to take our first steps into the stars. Just as Galileo's discoveries expanded the boundaries of human knowledge, our exploration of space will expand the boundaries of human possibility. But with that expansion comes responsibility, the responsibility to ensure that our actions reflect not only our intelligence but our wisdom. In the end, the journey into space is not just a journey outward, it is a journey inward, a journey into the depths of our own consciousness and our own potential. The universe, with all its vastness and mystery, invites us to grow, to evolve, to become more than we have ever been. But it also invites us to reflect on what it means to be human, to be alive, and to be part of a cosmic story that is still unfolding. As we continue this journey, let us carry with us the lessons of Galileo and Sagan. Let us explore with curiosity, with wonder, and with a deep respect for the unknown. And let us remember that, for all our achievements, we are still at the beginning of the cosmic story, a story that stretches across time and space, across stars and galaxies, ever revealing new wonders, ever inviting us to dream, to explore, and to grow. For as long as we continue to look up at the night sky with wonder, as long as we continue to ask questions and seek answers, we will remain part of that story, a story that connects us not only to the cosmos but to each other, to the stars, and to the very fabric of existence itself. As we continue to reflect on the vastness of the cosmos and humanity's unfolding journey within it, we begin to recognize that this journey is not simply about exploration, it is about transformation. The universe, with its stars, galaxies, and mysteries, is calling us not just to discover new worlds, but to expand our understanding of what it means to be alive, to be conscious, and to be part of something infinitely greater than ourselves. Galileo's telescope shattered the boundaries of human knowledge, reminding us that our place in the cosmos is not at the center, but as a small part of an enormous, ever-expanding universe. Carl Sagan carried that legacy forward, helping us understand that we are not isolated beings, but participants in a cosmic dance that stretches across time and space. As we now stand on the brink of becoming a spacefaring species, we are once again at a moment of profound change, a moment that challenges us to reimagine who we are and what we are capable of becoming. One of the most compelling aspects of this transformation is the idea that the universe itself may influence not only our physical bodies, but our consciousness as well. The stars, planets, and galaxies are not just distant objects to be studied, they are part of a cosmic tapestry that we are woven into, both physically and mentally. As we extend our presence into space, it is likely that our very way of thinking, perceiving, and understanding reality will evolve. The human mind, shaped by millions of years of evolution on Earth, is adapted to a specific environment: gravity, air, sunlight, and the familiar cycles of day and night. But space presents a radically different environment. In the microgravity of space stations, in the isolation of deep space voyages, or in the unique environments of other planets like Mars, human consciousness may begin to expand in ways we cannot yet fully comprehend. One of the most intriguing possibilities is that as we venture further into space, we will develop new forms of consciousness that are better suited to the challenges of long-term space travel and life on other worlds. For instance, deep space travel, journeys that last for decades or even centuries, will require us to rethink our relationship with time. On Earth, we measure time by the cycles of the sun and the seasons, but in deep space, those cycles will no longer apply. Time will become relative, not just in the sense of Einstein's theory of relativity, but in the way we experience it. For the first time in human history, we may need to develop new mental frameworks for understanding and living within such vast temporal scales. This raises a fascinating question: will human consciousness evolve to adapt to these new conditions? Could we, for instance, develop ways of perceiving time that are more fluid, more expansive, allowing us to experience deep space travel in ways that transcend our current understanding of time's linear progression? Could we learn to live in cosmic time, where the rhythms of our minds are in sync with the cycles of stars and galaxies rather than the rotation of a single planet? Beyond time, space itself presents a challenge to human consciousness. The infinite void, the vast distances between stars, the sheer emptiness of space, these are concepts that stretch the limits of human comprehension. Our minds are accustomed to thinking in terms of landscapes, horizons, and the familiar spaces of Earth. But in space, those boundaries dissolve. There are no horizons, no edges, no landmarks to ground our perceptions. The universe is vast beyond measure, and that vastness could reshape the way we perceive reality itself. Imagine living in a space station orbiting a distant planet, or traveling in a spacecraft through the void between stars. Your entire sense of self might shift as you adapt to a reality where the familiar markers of Earth, gravity, atmosphere, the comforting presence of the sky, are absent. Over time, you might develop a new kind of awareness, one that is more attuned to the vastness of space, more open to the idea that consciousness is not confined to a single planet or even a single form. This brings us to the question of how consciousness might evolve in response to the discovery of extraterrestrial life. If we encounter intelligent beings who think, perceive, and experience reality in ways that are fundamentally different from us, how will that change our own consciousness? Will we learn from them, expanding our understanding of what it means to be conscious? Will we develop new ways of communicating, new forms of empathy, that allow us to bridge the gap between different kinds of intelligence? Carl Sagan often spoke of the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial civilizations as a transformative event for humanity, one that would force us to see ourselves in a new light. The discovery that we are not alone in the universe would not only be a scientific breakthrough, it would be a philosophical and spiritual awakening. It would remind us that intelligence, life, and consciousness are not confined to a single planet, but are part of the broader story of the cosmos. But even if we do not find extraterrestrial intelligence, the experience of space itself could bring about a similar transformation. The more we explore the universe, the more we come to realize that we are connected to it in ways that go far beyond physicality. The same laws of physics that govern the movement of galaxies also govern the movement of particles in our bodies. The same energy that fuels the stars also fuels the neurons in our brains. We are, in a very real sense, made of the universe, and the universe is made of us. This understanding invites us to embrace a new form of consciousness, one that is not limited by the boundaries of our individual selves, but that sees us as part of the larger whole. Just as the Earth is not the center of the universe, neither are we. Our consciousness is not confined to our minds, it is part of the fabric of the cosmos. The atoms in our bodies were forged in the hearts of stars, and one day, those atoms will return to the universe, continuing the cycle of creation and destruction that has shaped the cosmos for billions of years. As we move forward into the unknown, this cosmic perspective can guide us. It can remind us that, while we are small in the grand scheme of things, we are also part of something vast and magnificent. Our journey into space is not just about the search for new worlds, it is about the search for new ways of being, new ways of thinking, new ways of understanding our place in the universe. At the same time, this perspective carries with it a deep ethical responsibility. The more we understand our connection to the universe, the more we must recognize our responsibility to care for it. The principles of planetary protection remind us that we must tread carefully as we explore other worlds. But beyond that, we must also consider the ethical implications of our actions in space. As we colonize other planets, as we build space stations, as we develop technologies that alter our bodies and our minds, we must ask ourselves, are we acting with wisdom? Are we creating a future that reflects the best of who we are? Galileo, in his time, challenged the world to see the universe in a new way. His discoveries expanded the boundaries of human knowledge, but they also forced humanity to confront uncomfortable truths about its place in the cosmos. Today, we face a similar challenge. As we venture into space, we are not just exploring new frontiers, we are expanding the very definition of what it means to be human. The universe is vast, and our time within it is brief. But in that brief time, we have the opportunity to participate in something extraordinary. We have the chance to explore, to learn, to grow, and to evolve. And as we do so, we carry with us the legacy of those who came before us, people like Galileo and Sagan, who dared to look beyond the known world and imagine what might be possible. As we continue this journey, let us approach the universe with curiosity, with wonder, and with a deep respect for the unknown. Let us remember that we are part of the cosmos, not separate from it, and that our actions have consequences not only for ourselves but for the universe as a whole. And let us carry forward the understanding that, while the universe is vast and full of mystery, it is also a place of profound connection, a place where every star, every planet, every living being is part of the same cosmic story. For as long as we continue to ask questions, to seek answers, and to look up at the stars with wonder, we will remain part of that story, a story that stretches across time and space, ever unfolding, ever revealing new wonders, ever inviting us to grow, to explore, and to dream. In conclusion, as we stand on the edge of this great cosmic journey, we must recognize that our exploration of space is not just a technological feat, it's a profound opportunity for growth and transformation. The universe, with all its mysteries and wonders, invites us to look beyond the confines of Earth and reimagine what it means to be human. Whether we encounter new worlds, alien life forms, or simply new ways of understanding our existence, we are part of a story that transcends time and space. The future holds incredible potential, not only for discovery but for expanding the limits of our consciousness, our values, and our responsibilities as stewards of the universe. As we venture out into the stars, let us do so with a sense of wonder, humility, and care, remembering that we are participants in a grand cosmic narrative. If you're as fascinated by the universe and our place in it as I am, be sure to subscribe for more thought-provoking content on space, science, and the future of humanity. Join this growing community of explorers, dreamers, and thinkers as we continue to delve into the mysteries of the cosmos together. Don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's keep looking up at the stars and dreaming of what lies beyond. Thank you for being part of this journey, our journey into the cosmos. We are but a pale blue dot in the vastness of space, an insignificant grain in time and space. And yet, from this tiny point, we gaze upon the immense universe. Carl Sagan. When we gaze into the vastness of the cosmos, we are not merely looking outward, but also deep within ourselves. The universe, an endless expanse of stars, planets, and mysteries, is a testament to the grand design of nature, a design that invites us to explore, to question, and to understand. In my time, the night sky was a canvas of wonder. Through the telescope, I saw what no human had seen before: moons circling Jupiter, the rough mountains of our moon, and the realization that Earth was not the center of creation. It was a revelation that shook the foundations of our understanding, much as our modern discoveries challenge the boundaries of what we know. The universe, far from being a fixed and static realm, is a dynamic, evolving tapestry. We are like children standing on the shore of an immense ocean, with only the faintest understanding of the wonders beyond the horizon. What Galileo saw through his telescope in the 17th century was only the beginning. Today, we peer farther into space, not just with our eyes, but with instruments of unimaginable precision. And still, the deeper we look, the more profound our ignorance becomes. The stars, those distant beacons, are not just points of light. They are suns, burning in the far reaches of space, each one potentially home to planets, to worlds unknown. Our own star, the Sun, is but one of billions in our galaxy, and our galaxy is but one of countless others in the universe. The scale is almost beyond comprehension, and yet, it is within our grasp to study, to learn, and to appreciate our place in this grand cosmic arena. In our quest to understand the universe, we find that the more we know, the more there is to discover. The laws of nature, once thought unchanging, reveal deeper complexities. The light from distant stars, traveling across the eons, tells the story of the birth and death of galaxies. Black holes, dark matter, and the mysterious pull of dark energy remind us that the universe holds secrets we are only beginning to unravel. Yet for all its vastness, the universe speaks to our most fundamental questions: who are we? Why are we here? And how is it that from the dust of stars, life arose, and with it, minds capable of wondering at the very stars themselves? We stand on the shoulders of giants, Galileo, Copernicus, Newton, and continue their journey, propelled by curiosity and awe. As Galileo once dared to look through his telescope and challenge the accepted truths of his time, so too must we dare to push beyond the boundaries of our current understanding. The universe calls to us, not with a voice, but with the silent majesty of its stars, the rhythm of its galaxies, and the pulse of time itself. It invites us to explore, to marvel, and to reflect on the extraordinary gift of being able to contemplate it at all. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos, we must remain humble before the grandeur of the universe. Galileo's bold proclamations were met with resistance, for he challenged the very fabric of human thought, daring to suggest that we were not the center of the universe. Yet it was this courage to seek the truth, no matter how unsettling, that opened the door to modern astronomy and set humanity on a path of discovery that transcends the centuries. Today, we have taken Galileo's vision and expanded it beyond the wildest dreams of his time. We have sent probes to distant planets, landed on our moon, and peered into the depths of space with instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope, revealing galaxies billions of light-years away. And still, we are only scratching the surface. The universe is not static, it evolves, much like our understanding of it. From the Big Bang, a singular moment of unimaginable energy in creation, the cosmos has stretched and expanded, giving birth to galaxies, stars, and planets. It is a process that has been ongoing for over 13.8 billion years. And in this vast stretch of time, we find ourselves on a small planet orbiting a modest star, caught in the middle of this grand unfolding. What is remarkable is that we, as humans, are a part of this story. We are the universe's way of knowing itself, born from the very elements forged in the hearts of stars. As Carl Sagan so eloquently put it, we are made of star stuff. Every atom in our bodies was once inside a star, and those stars, in turn, were born from the primordial gas and dust that emerged from the birth of the universe. Galileo once looked through his telescope and marveled at the moons of Jupiter, understanding that they obeyed the same laws of motion as the planets. Today, we marvel at the strange and wondrous forces that shape the universe on scales both large and small. The gravitational waves rippling through spacetime, the bending of light around massive objects, and the mysterious presence of dark matter, all of these phenomena remind us of how little we truly know. And yet, with each new discovery, we grow closer to understanding the fundamental nature of reality. Our journey through the cosmos is both an exploration of the universe and an exploration of ourselves. It is a search for meaning in a universe that, for all its complexity, operates on principles that are, at their core, comprehensible. But even as we celebrate our advances, we must remember the lessons of Galileo. The pursuit of knowledge is not always met with open arms. It challenges established ideas and forces us to rethink what we thought was certain. Galileo's willingness to challenge authority and push the boundaries of human thought reminds us that the search for truth often comes at great personal cost. Yet, despite the challenges, we persist. For the universe is too beautiful, too mysterious, and too awe-inspiring to ignore. The wonder that Galileo felt as he gazed through his telescope is the same wonder that drives astronomers today to look deeper, farther, and with greater clarity than ever before. As we continue to probe the depths of space, we must not forget that our understanding of the universe is still evolving. Like Galileo, we are at the dawn of discovery, peering into the unknown with tools that our ancestors could only dream of. And though we stand on the shoulders of giants, we must also have the courage to question, to explore, and to seek new horizons. The universe is vast, and our place in it is small, but the fact that we can contemplate it at all is a triumph of the human spirit. As Galileo taught us, the cosmos is not beyond our reach, it is within our grasp, waiting to be understood by those with the curiosity and the courage to look beyond the familiar and embrace the unknown. In the end, the universe does not belong to any one of us. It is a shared inheritance, a cosmic playground of endless possibilities. And as we continue our journey of discovery, we do so not just for ourselves, but for all who come after us, those who, like Galileo, will look up at the stars and wonder what secrets they hold. The cosmos, ever silent and unyielding, whispers to those who are willing to listen, those who seek its truths with an open heart and an inquisitive mind. Galileo's groundbreaking observations, made with a modest telescope, were among the first steps humanity took into this grand conversation with the universe. Now, as we venture deeper into the unknown, our tools have grown more sophisticated, but the fundamental questions remain the same. What is our place in this vastness? And what is the nature of the universe that surrounds us? Each star, each planet, each swirling galaxy is a thread in the cosmic tapestry that we are only beginning to understand. Like a symphony, the universe plays out its movements on a scale so grand that it humbles us. But in its very grandeur, we find a profound connection. We are not separate from the universe, we are an intricate part of it. Our atoms, born in the cores of ancient stars, now think, feel, and wonder about their origins. Consider the light from a distant galaxy. It has traveled for millions, perhaps billions of years across the fabric of spacetime to reach our eyes. In that single beam of light, we witness the past, the ancient history of the universe itself. We look back in time, across unimaginable distances, and glimpse a universe in its infancy. Stars forming, galaxies colliding, black holes consuming matter with a force so immense that not even light can escape their grasp. Galileo marveled at the celestial mechanics that govern the heavens, and today we marvel at the complexities that underlie the universe's very structure. We now know that most of the universe is not even visible. Dark matter, unseen and undetectable except through its gravitational effects, forms the scaffold upon which galaxies are built. Dark energy, a mysterious force, drives the acceleration of the universe's expansion, pushing galaxies farther apart at an ever-increasing rate. These discoveries challenge the limits of human understanding. But they also open new pathways of thought, reminding us that there is so much more to learn. The universe, it seems, is more strange and wondrous than we could have ever imagined. And it is in this strangeness that we find beauty, an order and harmony that transcends our limited perspective. As we continue to probe the mysteries of the cosmos, we must remember that the universe operates on timescales and distances far beyond our comprehension. Our lives are but brief moments in the grand narrative of existence. The stars we see today will one day burn out, the galaxies will drift apart, and the universe will continue its slow dance toward an uncertain future. Yet in this vast and indifferent cosmos, life emerged, and with it, the capacity to ask questions, to seek meaning. What a gift it is, then, to be able to look up at the stars and wonder. Galileo, with his crude telescope, began this journey for us. And today, we carry forward his legacy, peering deeper into space, mapping out the cosmic landscape, and striving to understand the laws that govern everything from the smallest particles to the largest galactic structures. But even as we search for answers, the universe remains elusive. There are questions that may never be answered, mysteries that may always lie just beyond our reach. Yet, it is in the asking of these questions that we find our true purpose. The act of discovery, the thrill of peeling back the layers of the unknown, is as much a part of our nature as the stars are a part of the cosmos. As Galileo once wrote, the book of nature is written in the language of mathematics. And so it is. But it is also written in the language of wonder, curiosity, and imagination. For as much as the universe reveals through cold, hard facts, it also inspires us with its beauty, its majesty, and its profound mystery. The more we learn, the more we are reminded of how small we are, and yet, how significant our quest for knowledge is. For in the grand cosmic scale, it may seem that we are insignificant specks, lost in the vastness of space. But it is precisely because we are able to recognize this vastness, to comprehend our place within it, that we are anything but insignificant. The universe calls to us, not with the voice of a deity, but with the silent pull of gravity, the flicker of distant stars, and the soft hum of cosmic radiation. It beckons us to continue our journey, to keep exploring, questioning, and imagining. And like Galileo, we will respond with the tools of our time, pushing the boundaries of what is possible, and discovering truths that will reshape our understanding of the cosmos once more. As we continue to journey through the cosmos, we come to realize that our quest for understanding is as infinite as the universe itself. Each discovery brings us closer to the truth, yet paradoxically, reveals even greater mysteries waiting to be unraveled. This, too, is the lesson of Galileo's life, a life dedicated to inquiry, to questioning the very fabric of accepted knowledge, and to gazing beyond the familiar into the vast unknown. Today, we build upon his spirit of curiosity. We send spacecraft to distant worlds,